do I
All
know?
right.
How do I know that it's working?
It's working.
Okay.
Is it?
I trust you.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Oh, I was I was looking at my at that one.
Ew, bro.
You.
What am I, a fucking noob? All right, step 1. Get in here, Trask. We're rolling.
Yeah.
Are we rolling?
Yeah.
We're rolling.
Dude, you're late to your own podcast.
What an L.
Fashionably late.
Your own podcast,
as I
L
should.
man. Step
My
1.
podcast.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's my podcast now.
What are everyone's thoughts on the Israel-Palestine
All right, let's
conflict?
not.
Oh my god, dude.
All right.
Starting off.
We're starting off real strong.
50% of the people in the room are named Elijah. So.
That's
And
insane.
the other 50% named Owen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fuck. I have a doppelganger I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Dude. Damn it.
So just wanted to point that out.
All right, welcome to. I'm gonna call it the Scuffed podcast.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because it's like the most fucked thing on the planet. Let's talk about acting. Who loves acting?
Yeah.
I like acting.
You do.
Yes.
Yeah. What have you acted in?
Well, there's this really lame project that I did. It's called Milk.
Why? Fuck you.
Whoa. Chill.
Yeah,
Wait,
it was
run
it was my first ever real experience of acting, and it was quite fantastic.
You enjoyed it?
Cool.
Enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know, we made a short film called Milk. I'll link it down below. Whatever. This is kind of gonna be the first part is just gonna be more or less a retrospective on it. We're just gonna kind of talk about because I don't know if you guys know, we did a podcast. I think it was early 2022, and it was just kind of cool to look back on like what we all thought and like kind of where we were in our lives back when we did that, and we just thought it would be kind of a cool thing to do for our first short film we did in 3 years, because this was the first publicly released project we did since summer 2020. So this was actually, it had been a while, so we just kind of want to do this to gather.
Although if you haven't seen it, Killer of Shadow, you got to check out that YouTube channel.
Oh
It's,
wow.
Killer of the Shadow. I
Um,
love that one.
I'm certainly flattered.
Definitely, there's a lot of really good stuff on there, especially Drug Lord of a Suburban City.
City 5.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, no,
Fire.
4.
Four?
4.
How many are there now?
No, 3. You're right.
Can't even keep track.
I'm mixing it up with Kyphoid.
But honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the second one hit the hardest.
You like the
for
second
me.
one? Yeah, we made those like so long ago, and we were just like we never publicly released them anywhere. It is. I mean, I'm talking to it.
No, you're not.
We never released it publicly anywhere, so I was like, fuck it, I'll upload it to my YouTube channel.
So, did you guys recently re-edit those?
No.
No,
Okay.
those are straight from how they were when we first made them. So there's a lot of mistakes and funny things that are just in there.
Cinematic genius.
And then in September we filmed the third one, and we did like a kind of like a sequel 6 years later,
So
and
good.
we put an end to it.
It was
So,
literally 6 years later.
yeah, exactly. So,
I love that you guys kept the same quality level.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Suck my balls.
The same level of the same feeling, the same vibe
Yeah.
was in it. You know.
No, yeah, that's a compliment, because we were kind of aiming for that, because we were like, if it feels too different, it's not going to be like the same thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're here for more important reasons. We
Okay. Yeah, milk, guys.
we're here for just to like kind of talk about
Professional, real,
Yeah.
legitimate film.
the production and stuff and what went into that.
Yeah, because it was kind of like, because I think that was the first time we ever actually shot like real coverage.
Yeah.
Because before, when we did our films, it would just kind of be like so if it's a one person back and forth, it would be single. I would say my line, Jake would feed me the next. I would say it. He would feed me the next. I would say it.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like weird because we didn't it just looked stupid.
Yeah.
Because we weren't actually like reacting off of anything. So just kind of getting a bunch of like different shots and different angles of the same scene was like kind of wild. Where it's just like we actually have room to play with it in post. And because I'm honestly, I'm gonna give a bunch of credit on that to Elijah and Jay for like, especially with the campfire scene.
Which Elijah?
Monroe. the one that had more than like 3
You might have to
lines.
address by last names
Yeah,
for this
yeah.
podcast because
Trask Monroe.
Trask.
Monroe.
There we go.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they have the
Take it
same
really
name.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we didn't we would. Do I talk about Truth or Consequences?
That's fine. Yeah.
Because we kind of did coverage then. This was in 2021. Was it one?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. It was Hugo and Lachlan basically.
Yeah.
And we kind of shot coverage, but they would only know one line at a time. So like we would have to feed it to them. But if you actually have actors who know the scene and who know like the entire, like every single line they have to do, you could just like roll, mic them, have them do it, and then just have so many options to go from in post.
Yeah, it was cool because like you, Monroe, and Jay, like you guys both memorized your lines, and we never had that before. Like when people know their lines, so it made production so much faster.
I appreciate you lying because
And,
like I definitely didn't memorize them. And you guys were pissing me for that, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, well, we beat you up for it, so all the makeup. There was no makeup done in the.
you beat the living shit out of me.
Yeah,
for
there
that
was.
one.
Yeah,
So-
That was my favorite part of the entire project.
So that's
was
why
just
yeah.
you guys
him up.
actually got him on this project. Is
Yeah.
we've been friends for a long time.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
we were curious about that because
And-
we've known each other for like probably more. I don't know. more than-
10, 11 years.
Yeah, like 11 years. So like.
and we've known each other longer actually. So
Yeah.
if it's
So
a
like.
competition,
Weird
like,
flex.
Yeah. Yeah, like so like. I was interested like because you guys have both been friends for so long, and then we're doing this project, and then it's like, hey, do you guys want to, I don't know. I just was curious about that. Like, when did you guys start being friends and like stuff like that? I guess.
I remember it very vaguely of like just kind of meeting him at our church and being like, "Your name's Elijah."
yeah.
Oh,
My
really?
name's Elijah.
Like that. What else do you
What?
need as a kid? You know.
Literally.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't remember it very strongly, but
Yeah.
it was something like that.
Mm.
Because then we just had mutual friends, and we hung out with all of each other a lot, and then we just kind
Yeah.
of stuck as friends.
That's
So.
cool. Yeah.
Shout out to our buddy Ty, freaking weirdo.
Ah,
Oh, he was
Lovable
in
guy.
the next Sebum.
That
Remember
video.
that video?
yeah,
The
yeah,
Golden Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dude, if you haven't seen that film, honestly, I think it's probably better than Milk, but kidding. Not Milk
just
is-
because you run at Jake and call him a slut.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah,
was
you have to call me a slut.
Give that to me, you slut. Wait.
honestly.
Oh no. Different
Only
movie.
$11.
That was I
You
think that was probably the best performance of my life.
Yeah.
Easily.
Easily.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious about this. I know this is kind of off topic. You met at church. I know, Monroe, you talk a lot about Christianity, and you're like a pretty devout Christian, right? Trask, is that same with you still?
Yeah. I'm a Christian, and I'm big on my faith, and that's the reason that I wake up in the morning, the reason I live. Like I don't know. For me, it's like having that personal relationship with God is a key part of my life, and it's why I like where I kind of draw my joy and my sense of like happiness from. You know, I think it gives me a greater sense of purpose, and I definitely recommend 10 out of 10. So.
10 out of 10 go to church.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was curious because I know there's some people who kind of are, I guess, closeted Christians because like they're Christian, they believe in God, they go to church, but they don't like talk about it all the time. And some people do, and like obviously it's not my place to say which one is correct or which one's better, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's definitely different types of Christians, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And they're definitely like I think that's definitely the thing with all religions because some people probably feel, I guess, shunned if they're part of one or not part of one even. So I don't know, it's interesting that not interesting, but like it's cool that you guys are both like so open and talking about it.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, and it's great you guys did a very Christian film called Milk. That was very
Super Christian.
very
so
PG.
Christian.
yeah, we're getting off topic. But,
No, that's cool. I was just it was just interesting because Milk is such a dark subject matter, and it's
Yeah, honestly,
very-
that played into some of it because like my family's very Christian, and like I have a lot of those values as well. But I was excited to be on this film as well. But like for some of it, there was that nerves of like putting this out there to my community. They're not used to seeing me kind of playing this kind of role or like talking this sort of way, or like some people just see a different me, you know.
Yeah.
And I've even kind of dealt with that. Like some people get different versions of me because I feel like I can show up like in environments whoever I need to be or whoever like is socially acceptable, which is, I mean, not always the best, but it's just kind of how it ends up playing out. But like, so some people there was kind of that nerves of like, oh, they're not used to seeing me kind of like swear this much, or like, or even in this sort of subject matter or that sort of thing. I definitely told my mom, I was like, you will not like this film. Like, I'm going to put it out on my Instagram, but you probably shouldn't watch it. She did watch it and she didn't understand it. And I was like, okay, like I told you, but I don't know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was the thing is I feel like if we made it now, there'd be a lot of changes.
Easily.
That was definitely a big part of it. Was a lot of people didn't understand what was happening. Like my dad didn't get it. My mom got it. It was just kind of like 50-50 on whether or not people got it. If someone asked me, like, they're like, what the hell happened? I'd just be like, just watch it again. Watch it again and see if you can figure it out. And that usually works. Like if they just watch it more than once, they're like, okay, I can kind of figure out, like he's being poisoned or something. Like they don't get it exactly right, like what's happening, but they get like 80% of the way there.
But I really respect that, because I feel like a lot of, especially student films and like early on, like people's film career, like they tend to like try too hard to explain the film and what's going on. And I think you guys stayed true to like really trying to show rather than tell. And that's like rule number one. I think you guys stuck to that pretty well. And I think it's kind of a learning curve, but I think from what you guys are doing, it showed some professionality and some like just love for your art to like not really care to like over explain it to the people that aren't going to get it.
Yeah.
But staying true to just really creating a great piece of art that does have a good meaning, that does have a like that true conflict, but not really trying to like put it all in the dialogue or the exposition.
Yeah. Because one of the things we like talked about like really significantly, like going into like writing the script, because I don't know if you guys know, but this script is actually like, an adaptation of one of Jake's short stories that he wrote. He wrote it like 2019 or something.
No, it wasn't that long ago, but it was
a while ago.
It was like 2021, something like that.
But yeah, so we wanted to like adapt, going through the adaptation of it. One of the biggest things we wanted to do was revealing what Leo did. No, revealing what the man did, to warrant this punishment.
That'd be a much different film if it was...
Got incest. And obviously go watch the film if you haven't yet, but we kind of thought about it on this spectrum. So it was like the final like how much do we explain? It's level 0 is say nothing about it, literally 0 dialogue, and 100%, like that would be 0%. 100% would be a line where Leo...
Nolan film.
Literally.
I love Christopher Nolan, favorite director, but there is a lot of exposition.
I love him. 100% would be a line where Leo says, like, "You raped my sister, you fuck," like that.
Wait, that's what actually happened in the movie?
So
you had no idea what was going on while filming. You're like, "Oh, this is fun."
You were really on acid when we were shooting. But we kind of had to like, we wanted to get to that 80% mark where it's like, you don't say exactly what it is, but we give the audience enough tools to kind of realize it. And I think that was, we had to like really write Leo's final monologue. Like that was like the hardest line to write in the film.
That was totally.
And I think we pretty much got it. From everyone I talked to, they either said, "What are you laughing about?"
No, I just wanted to say, Monroe, you're fuck that, and that's become like a meme between Owen and I. Like we'll use it like daily, like fuck that. Just so you know, just wanted
so
to
if we
throw
ever
that
say
out there.
"fuck that," that's why.
Yeah, and we say it in that way.
I'm very happy.
Fuck that.
You guys should put that on the GME page. You just like make that a meme, like a format.
Fuck
you
that.
like green screen him into a meme, and it's like just cut in like fuck that, and I cut that.
We should.
Yeah, you should.
That is so funny.
Promote your film too in the process.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, no, that's something we had to like write really carefully, and we from everyone I talked to with it, they either had no idea what was going on. Chris Borbell.
Oh yeah.
He had no idea what was going on, or they thought he killed the man killed Leo's sister, or the man who raped Leo's sister, which is like pretty close enough. Obviously, the one that gives it away. If you like take that one line, it could be really anything. But if you do it in context with the fireplace scene, where Leo was like,
they used the present tense when.
yeah, he was like, what would she want? I think the line was.
Right.
It kind of signaled like if you,
Like she's
Paul
not
says
dead.
that, right?
yeah,
You kind of
Yeah,
get
yeah.
like, oh,
or
she's still alive.
Yeah.
It was like, why don't you ask her what she wants?
yeah, that.
Because I doubt she'd want this. To kinda
Yeah.
imply that she's
Yeah, yeah.
You know, still alive and
Yeah,
The
definitely.
actor, the actor knows the film better than the writers.
So, how long did you guys spend writing this film, or who kind of headed that up? Was it Jake? Or was it Owen?
I would say like 70%
Yeah.
Jake.
Owen definitely like in early on though, he basically took the short story and then we described all the scenes as like with a letter and then a number. So all of the street scenes like the kidnapping scene. So like K1, K2, K3. K1 was when Monroe and Jay are beating you. And then he's like, go grab the milk. And then K2 is when you're drinking the milk. And then K3 is, wait, did I get that wrong?
K2 is when the milk was being made.
Oh, K2 is, me making the milk in that like garage scene. And then K3, that was me, by the way.
Whoa, bro!
Cameo.
Like just broke the fourth wall. There
Yeah,
for
sorry,
me.
sorry.
Like I did.
Anyways,
wow.
K3 was, you drinking the milk. So we basically did that with every scene. We had like S1, S2, S3, K3, K1 through 3.
Yeah.
And then also like the childhood scenes. I don't know if you guys, we had like an entire
yeah.
different thing going on in the movie that
Did you cut some of those scenes out?
Cut
we
all of
cut
them.
all of them out. Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
We filmed the whole thing. That was the first thing we filmed was or shot was the
Did you just not? What? Why? What was the process behind cutting some of those things
I
out?
think
Yeah, so I think it just made it way too complicated.
Yeah.
convoluted too.
Because obviously the shots were supposed to be. I don't think we shot enough in the present. I tried to fix it with editing. If we had maybe one more day of shooting or one more shot to kind of explain that it was the man's like fucked memory, we could have got it. But at that point, we'd already done 4 days of shooting and 1 day
Yeah.
of reshooting.
So what do
Yeah.
you mean by that? It was going to be like him kind of flashbacks during cut into the film
Yeah,
throughout.
yeah.
It was supposed to be like a corrupted memory. Like it was kind of real, but kind of not real. So
okay.
there's a I don't know. It didn't come out. I think in hindsight we should have done more to keep it alive. If we were to make milk today,
Yeah.
I think we would try. We would definitely have that in mind, like to keep it in.
Was it like kind of maybe too many concepts to be playing around with? or
But
something?
yeah. It's just there's like 3 different timelines in the
Yeah.
movie. Wait, is there? Well, there's like
There's
the
3
childhood.
with the childhood.
Yeah, with the childhood, and there's like the
Oh.
campfire. Plus, because the campfire scene canonically, it's supposed to be the night after Monroe and Jay beat you in that like chicken
Right,
coop thing.
right.
Jay is Paul, by the way.
Yeah,
Jay is the actor's name for Paul.
Yeah, Jay Griffey.
Jay Griff, dude. Honestly,
Have you
he's too
guys
famous for me? I feel.
have you guys seen the other movie that we did with him recently?
Sadly, I have.
No, I feel that.
Actually, no. It was well done. Like the cinematography of it. you know.
Yeah,
He wrote that film.
It was written by him.
Okay.
I watched that too. Yes.
Yeah.
I saw it. I was just like, oh,
It was hot for sure.
they put it up. Watched it. I was just like,
I was just sad I didn't get a call.
Yeah, to be part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You would have made a great Michelle.
Yeah. I mean, like I could have just pulled up and been like, "Yo,
Yeah.
I'm the side hoe."
You want to
but-
eat my pussy for dessert?
Whoa, okay.
Best line.
Yeah.
Iconic
Best
line.
line in the film.
I forgot about that line.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, there was just a lot of things with that. We shot all of that in one day.
Yeah.
So, like we did, we were kind of running behind because the sun was setting during the outside street scene.
Were those friends of his that like the girls? that
Yeah,
you guys
we
had
made
acting
him
with?
produce it.
Okay.
He produced. So
Oh.
those were actors from backstage that he got.
Oh, from backstage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Catherine was, I believe.
Oh, Catherine, maybe not.
So, Raquel was from backstage. Diana,
Was.
Michelle, fuck.
There's so many names. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So
remember
many.
who's in the
Michelle.
film and who's
Mich-
the real name.
The side hoe, Michelle.
Okay.
I believe Jay met her at a script reading at one point, or like an
Okay.
acting workshop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they knew each other before, and then he cast Raquel off backstage.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I backstage is like fucking interesting.
Yeah, it's a cool resource.
It is
Yeah.
so cool.
It's like Tinder
Yeah.
for
Literally.
actors.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. My parents were like, "How'd you
Yeah.
find the actors?" I'm like, film equivalent of Tinder, basically."
Yeah, pretty
No.
much.
I had not heard of that actually before.
Neither
this
did we.
set.
We didn't know about
I
it.
mean,
Yeah, that's another thing that made this interesting. Was this was our first time casting people that we didn't know as friends?
Mm,
Because
Yeah.
in all of our
Wait,
other
you don't know
films,
me?
no,
like, you don't think we're friends?
man.
no.
Okay.
Because all of our other films, it's been like Jake and Hugo, or like me and Jake,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as the actors. But this time we're like, okay, both of us have to be behind the camera. We need people who like actually want to do, like
Yeah.
want to act, basically.
And I'm a terrible actor, so we need
Yeah.
someone else who like actually knows what to do.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Elijah, did we ever tell you how you actually got the role? Like besides,
I was about to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
All I remember was seeing his Instagram story where he was all bruised and bloodied, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" I knew he wasn't actually bruised and bloody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah.
But I was like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Oh, I'm in a film with some friends of mine." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Dude, you know I want to be an actor."
It was
Kind of
pretty-
in a
pretty
joking
much
way,
FOMO.
like half joking, half serious. I was like, "Dude, why didn't you tell me about this?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Try to get me in." And
FOMO got him
I-
into the film.
yeah, I didn't even realize that he was like actually, like I said, it was like half joking too. So I did not realize that he actually was like, "Yeah, okay, they have a role. I'll tell them about you." I was like, "Oh, wow, awesome, thank you."
Yeah.
So then put me in the group chat with you. You sent me the thing, and then I did that. As far as like how
Yeah.
you guys liked it, nothing after that.
Because that's the thing. We started filming before, like all the me getting beat up and everything, and I didn't even know what was going on. You guys were just like, stand here, get like, just
Yeah,
look
yeah.
all like beat up and start walking
Yeah.
and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
the first
like,
thing we
what's
shot
going
was after the childhoods. The first thing we shot was the shot with you drinking the milk,
yeah.
and we did a whole day shoot just for that one
Just
shot.
for that one shot. Yeah. Just when you're putting
Yeah.
the milk and putting it back down.
So it
And
actually,
then-
funnily, so the reason we needed an actor for it. So the first, like our original plan was, we were gonna do it like any other film. We had Elijah Trask lined up as the man, and then we needed the three antagonists. So we needed Leo, Paul, and Alex.
Mm.
We were originally gonna have a guy who goes to the gym named Aid Simp. His name's Aiden.
Aiden, yeah.
Aiden Simpson.
Yeah.
He was gonna play Leo, but I don't know what the fuck happened. He just like ghosted us basically.
Yeah.
we were just
I mean,
like
it was a bit unfair because he's not like an actor. He's just one of
Yeah.
our friends that
Right.
we've had him like do like skits with us, like little gym things. But like, it's kind of like it's a serious role, and it's like
Right,
it,
yeah.
it made sense. Like I was like, you know what, that was kind of unfair. I mean, it wasn't unfair, but it was just like,
I would be surprised if it worked out.
yeah. Even if he did do it, I don't know if it would be as good as what we got with Monroe.
And you guys picked me just because I was like in that, just because I was in your gym video.
We just knew you were interested in it, and we
Okay.
thought you would be a good fit for the man. Basically.
don't-
We knew you could
Okay.
take a punch,
That's
Um,
what it was. You just wanted to see me like messed up
but yeah.
for sure.
I don't remember exactly how we like decided that Trask would be a good fit.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't remember the exact process.
So I
behind
wasn't a
that.
good fit, is what you're trying to say. You're just like,
Yeah,
I
we
was-
could have found someone better. I think. So
Bye. Finally,
in hindsight, we could have recasted you.
Yeah, you,
in hindsight, you were like okay,
Yeah.
do you think I could have done both parts? Like,
maybe.
Put a wig on,
Yeah.
played
yeah.
the man, played
Dang.
me.
That
Yeah.
could have worked.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
could have played every part in the film.
But yeah, so after we would kind of just like fuck that. See exactly right there. There it is.
No, you gotta
my
you gotta
God.
like pause yourself in the edit and like just edit him.
put
and
him in,
just put-
yeah.
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 And so we were like, okay, because by now Hugo, who was our main actor friend, who he would always like play the lead in any short film we made. He was in South Africa at this point, and he's in Canada now. And so we're like, okay, we have like literally nobody else who we know who want to act. We could like DM random people on Instagram, find people in the gym, or we could look up like online casting services or whatever, because like obviously
Yeah.
that makes sense. And the first result that popped up was Backstage. So I'm like, okay, because you have to pay like $30 to submit a project.
Yeah.
So it's like I get one free submission. I'm like, fuck it, okay, bam. We put it out to the world. And that's how we found Jay. That's how we found Paul to act for it.
Mm.
And it's so weird because like we're like, okay, we're filming this in Sacramento, locals only. We were getting applications from like Australia and London.
Yeah.
People are always,
Yeah.
I don't know. My theory is just people like either set up bots or have like managers just like send
Spam
every
send.
single thing. It's like
Yeah.
fucking annoying.
Right.
But we ended up having, I want to say, 8 or 9 tapes come in, 8 or 9
wow.
audition videos.
Wow.
And there were 2 front runners for Leo.
Jay was one of them, I think.
He was 3 front runners actually.
Yeah.
Jay was one of the front runners because we really liked, because he sent us the video within like 2 days of the application.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because obviously he would like send us a message, or he would like apply, then we'd send a message. We'd basically just be like, hey, here are the sample scripts, and we like made audio files that they like as readers if they didn't
Right,
have
yeah.
any. And so it was like up to 2. We ended up choosing one person, but then he just like wouldn't communicate with us pretty much,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I think it was like kind of stopped communicating because Jay was only available like 2 days out of every like 10 or something to film.
Oh wow.
Because he had work, and the other guy was only available like probably the same days, but they didn't line up. And Jay would always text us like 5 minutes after we sent out a text to the group chat, and the other
Right.
guy would just like leave us on red for like 2 days. So after a while, we're just like, fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we just
Um,
needed someone for Leo, and it was like it's purely circumstantial that like
Right.
you got it. So
Yeah,
you better
Well,
be
hey.
thankful to this guy.
yeah, and it was just like right after. We were like, okay, whatever, we're done with this. This isn't gonna happen. If we want to actually make this, we need to find somebody.
Right.
And so we're like, okay, you are done.
God. Yeah.
And then Elijah's like, oh yeah, I have another friend, Elijah, who wants to act. We're like, fuck it, we'll send him the script, and you submitted it. And we were like, okay, yeah, this is really good. I actually think we didn't actually fire him until after you sent the tape.
Mm.
I want to say we still had it, like he had the role.
Still had him on payroll.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was still in our minds until
We saw the
pretty
tape.
late.
Yeah, and we're just like, okay, this is gonna be 10,000 times easier. He looks good for the role. He's a local, so like he can get here within like half an hour or whatever it was,
Right.
maybe a little more. But like, okay, this is, even if he was like, he might have been like even if he was better, it doesn't really matter if you're better if you won't show up.
Right.
Yeah.
So especially with like film, it's like you can kind of see like all the equipment. There's like really expensive equipment, but you often go with the thing that just makes your life easier and makes it so you can get the shot.
Right.
So it's like kind of the same thing here.
Yeah.
So, and then you got it.
And then I got it.
Yeah.
And he killed it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Process of elimination.
And then I was like, okay, let's do another one. Want to talk about I'll Miss You?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Sure.
That was good.
I loved doing that one. That was so fun.
Yeah.
That was. I was really shocked. I was at work, and I just got a call. Normally, I get a spam call, so I pull it out, about to turn it, about to mute it. And I'm like, "Ah, it's Owen." I'm like,
Got nervous.
thankfully, I was able
Dang.
to walk away for a moment. So I was like, okay, hey, what's up? And you were just like, oh, hey, yeah, you free tomorrow? This, that. I'm like, so short notice. I don't know. But then I was just like, I have to make this work. Like, I have to make this work. I'm like, I gotta get more roles. Plus, I really enjoyed working with you guys on Milk. So I was just like, absolutely. So I'm like, yeah, I'll let you know more details. But I was so excited. And then, but I was shocked. And I remember coming back out in front. They're like, what happened? You just disappeared. I'm like, sorry, I got a career call basically. Like this is important. And they're like, oh, and I told them, and they're like,
Director calls, you got to answer, you know.
Yeah, I was
Exactly.
you fired.
yeah. I was like,
When Owen calls me, I hang up the phone and then
Cry.
I wait till the next day
Pretty much.
to call him back. And I'm like, hey, did you need me for something? He's like, I needed you yesterday. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that kind of started as like I was literally bored one weekend, just got like 2 new lights in,
yeah.
like 2 new Amaran 200Xs, like bicolor. First time I ever had those. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot something. And like Carson was in town. Jake loves Carson, by the way.
I love him. Yeah.
How do you?
How do I love him?
Yeah.
Very well. Why? What?
Okay.
He loves him.
Yeah, yeah.
What a guy. But yeah, we're like, fuck it. Let's just make a whole film in a weekend. And so I wrote it on Saturday. We shot it on Sunday. And then I was just like, whatever. It was like a simple 3-page, 2.5-page story.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun little project,
Yeah.
fun little cinematography practice, acting practice.
Very fun, very fun. However, I will say when I read that I ate rice with like what was it, soy sauce or whatever on it,
remember.
I was just like, there's no way I'm gonna be actually eating that, am I? 'Cause I really hate soy sauce or like any sort of like hot sauce, which people are gonna be weirded out by that, but I hate that. So I was like, I'm gonna have to like eat like a really small portion, otherwise I'm gonna be like,
Bro's got a sensitive palate.
very
Yeah.
He's
sensitive.
It's one of those like. I
Yeah.
eat.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, it was very fun.
It wasn't like the best because I didn't have like.
I thought the cinematography of it, the camera work was like, the lighting.
Yeah,
Oh.
I liked it.
It
I
was
like,
beautiful.
"Dang,
I
this is
loved
really
it."
good."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of all I wanted to do at that point. Just like, okay, get some more shots for narrative portfolio,
It was kinda
get
fun.
another sick actor piece, just like stuff like that.
It was so nice. Loved
Yeah.
it.
And yeah, I mean, I wasn't part of that at all, but
Yeah, I think you're like out of town or out of the country even.
yeah, I don't even know where I was, but yeah, I wasn't there. But I thought it was like just watching it. I thought it was cool because like, oh, that's cool. They did it on their own. And, like, I didn't know like anything about it at all. So I was like, it came out of nowhere. I was like, oh, cool. Owen did a short with Monroe. I was like,
Oh, you didn't even get a call.
I was
about
like,
that?
a little,
Wow.
I'm just like a little jealous, but
It's okay, dude. I get
no,
you.
yeah, it was cool.
I even got the call, but you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think so.
You're
Did
trying
I
to-
call you for the actor or for help for crew?
I can't remember.
I think I called you for crew.
because was it just one? It was just a one man shoot. Yeah.
So
you said you said you wanted me and Monroe there
yes
because you wanted Monroe to act in it.
I think so because the crew ended up being me, Carson, and my brother.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
I think that you wanted me for crew.
Yeah, and my brother just kind of stood around because he kind of just like sat on the couch and was on his phone the whole time. Because like I would just set up light because it was like basically two locations, and I would just like set up a setup. I would just like run the camera. I would need one person for boom, and then I would want him to like help move lights between shots. But he's like, "Fuck that." So
Whoa. Worst gaff ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's the worst boy.
He also stole our microphone. That's why I had to bring
Yeah,
another microphone because this guy like jacked your microphone.
Yeah.
This podcast,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Thievery.
shout out to you, dude. I don't know you, but
Yeah, so we're just like right now we're kind of looking for another like we have these projects lined up for the future, but like they're really big, like feature length basically. So
Yeah.
that's pretty.
like we're
big.
doing a documentary right now on women's bodybuilding, which is like that's feature length. We're doing we have a
What, like 90 minutes.
Do you want to talk about B or M?
I was gonna kind
Do you wanna
of
talk
just,
about
I was just
either?
gonna kind of mention them.
Okay.
God. Okay.
B or M.
Yeah.
The
So-
code
I'm
names?
really curious.
So,
Yeah.
Monroe, you know about Beware of Doug. We sent you the excerpts for it.
Yes.
That's like the main
Got it.
thing. We're actually doing like a complete overhaul of that script, though. Like we're changing the entire like middle
Yeah.
section.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Basically, we're trying to do because obviously, it's like, what was it like? The first draft was like 55 pages
Oh, wow.
and like
Yeah.
7 or 8 locations.
Wow.
And at one point, I was just like, "Fuck it! Is there any way we can get these locations down so it's easier to shoot?" And so I threw out a suggestion, and we're like, "Okay, yeah, that'll cut it down to what, like 4 locations."
yeah, something like that.
So like, okay, and then Jake's writing this one all on his own. I
Yeah,
like giving
yeah.
suggestions, but like I'm not really writing it as much
Mm.
as like I did Milk or anything.
Mm.
And so I'm like, I just gave the suggestion, and then we're like, "Fuck it, we'll overhaul the entire thing," mainly just because it'll make it easier and more cheaper to shoot. And
Okay.
cheaper to shoot.
So I think that one's gonna be like feature length. So we're kind of like looking for an in betweener to like, because that might be like another year out before we even start filming that.
Oh, okay.
And we're just looking for actors for
Right.
all the main roles. But we're looking for kind of like another like 8-minute, 7-minute short film that we can do just for more practice. And also maybe get to know more actors or something like that, just because we kind of need quite a few for this movie.
Right.
Meaning what?
So
3, 4, 5 mainish ones
yeah,
Wow.
and a few backgrounds.
Oh, 5.
That's cool.
This is like Fast and Furious. You got
Yeah.
like 5 lead roles.
Yeah, exactly.
So the other, God, I've been wanting to mention this for so long. The other project we're working on is basically a feature-length version of Milk.
Whoa.
Okay. I wanted to say that. I wanted to say that during the filming of Milk because we had this idea.
So it's
for
like
a while.
full gallon.
Yeah, it's a full gallon.
Yeah, fuck you. it's not a quart anymore. It's a whole ass gallon.
Yeah. No, I've been really wanting. I wanted to say that like to you guys, like on the
Dang,
when we
bro.
were filming the short. I was like, I just want to see their
Surprise.
reactions, so that was worth it. Just saying.
Surprise.
Oh my gosh.
But like, yeah.
That's legit.
So there's a lot of. I mean, that's also going to be feature length. So we have like basically 3 features potentially that are lined up, and the longest film we've done so far is Bed Play, which was
12.
12 pages. So
Yeah.
That was longer than
Script.
Milk.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it was like a.
it was just a lot easier. Not even easier.
There weren't as many sets for that one.
It was just all dialogue too,
Yeah.
basically. It's like
Yeah.
there were no like fighting sequences or anything
Because
like that.
we went on a few locations for Milk, and it was
Right.
like, and we had to set up makeup every time. I think that's what was like
Right.
took
yeah.
the most time. Was
Yeah.
like I had to sit there for an hour every time, just like we had to paint it on. Well, and usually everybody was there, and I was like,
sitting there jerking your dick.
"Whoa,
While Sean was there in a dress eating pizza.
okay, yeah."
Yeah. there's a lot
Insert
of weird-
some clips of the behind the scenes because that
Sean
was
John.
messed up. What was like that?
I don't know what the thought process behind that was. I think he just kind of spontaneously did that.
Confirmed
Bro,
femboy.
Sean on that set like was just harassing me the whole time.
Oh my
I
gosh.
was like, bro, just stop.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, credit where credit's due. That he was a pretty good sound op.
He was.
Yeah.
I mean, he held that mic really well.
Yeah, he did that one thing that he has to do really well.
Yeah.
him.
Shout out to you, Sean.
Sean
yeah.
John. Sean John 1215.
Love you. But is he 18 now?
No.
When you're 18, I love you.
Disclaimer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just I don't know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that about Milk the feature. But like there's a bit of apprehension there because I was just like, if I mention that, I know like you guys are gonna want like something to do, like some part of it, and we don't know exactly like how it's gonna shape up or anything, or
Right.
so I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's also like I think it's the thing where I don't know, like there's some psychology thing where if you're working on something, you should never tell anyone because when you tell people, you almost get like the dopamine from completing it just by telling people that you did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's that thing where it's like, oh yeah, I don't know. And it's also the thing where it's like everyone expects it, but now if
Right.
it doesn't pan out for whatever reason, we're like, fuck, okay.
Yeah, you just kind of go out people's hopes up for no reason. But
Yeah.
I think we're pretty confident that it'll happen somehow.
At some point.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it might not be for a while.
2027.
Yeah,
And
2029.
yeah, there's a lot of like we're gonna go a lot more in depth with like the story and stuff. So it's not gonna be as like vague or as ambiguous.
Right.
Mhm.
In the same ways, like there's gonna still be some mystery because that's kind of what makes the movie. But
Yeah.
Right.
a lot of stuff will be answered.
Yeah, and then we also have one other like smallish thing that we have. Jake made a bunch of like random little films when he was in South Africa in January of this year.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about those, Jake.
Tell us about what?
Your time in South Africa.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
Bravo. But yeah, he just made like a bunch of like random films with Hugo when he was down there, and we're just gonna adapt one of those, just make it a little more cinematic, and
Yeah.
I don't know, just make it a little nicer, give it a little shoe shining.
Oh, you mean like reshoot it?
Yes,
'Cause we
with an
just shot
actual
it-
script and actual lights.
And camera because
Yeah.
we shot on my phone.
Lights,
And it was just improv. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
It's pretty fire improv though.
Yeah, we're kind of like that's gonna be like a 2-minute thing.
Yeah.
We kind of want to have more, just like practice in making shorts and stuff like that. So if you guys have anything, I don't know. Oh,
My-
you
Yeah,
do. You do
I,
have something.
I do have something.
You want to
yes.
talk about that?
Sure, for a hot second.
Little promo.
Yeah. Little promo. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have not made basically any progress
That's
in
fine.
that.
That's how
fine.
it goes.
But
It's the film industry.
yeah.
yeah, so this project will be about the more of the regrets of abortion. Very deep, very intense dark theme of just like how that whole situation works out, and that I'm still writing a little bit. I have what I sent you guys is kind of what I had was mostly what I have. I don't plan to change too much from it. I just kind of have to wrap it up and maybe tweak a couple spots. But the hardest thing that I realized is finding actors, because I'm like, I posted it out onto Backstage because I'm like, you know what, I'm going to finish writing this. I have my general time of goals as to when I want it to be filmed, and so I put it out. I was like, hey, I want it to be filmed around like this time. Anybody want to do this? And I got quite a bit of applicants. I was very happy. I was like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Then somehow, I don't know how, my account got banned.
The fuck?
I don't know what happened, but then I fixed it, and I went back on there, and I got some more applicants. I was like, cool. Half of them were like in LA to like New York. I'm like, people. One of them was actually, I think, from Australia. You mentioned that earlier. I was like, I know that.
Some guy in Australia is just putting every,
Yeah.
like,
trying.
every project.
He's like
Right.
spamming refresh.
I'll
and
fly out
clicking,
to Sacramento real quick.
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe he's got a private jet.
Dude, did I just... Never mind. But no, it was really difficult, and I realized most people were like, I could do that, I can't do that, and this and that. I'm like, oh my gosh, these people, like, I get it, but it's frustrating. And to the point where I'm still, like, right now, I'm like, I have, like, basically nothing updated, no
Yeah.
progress made. But
How far are you on the script?
decently far. I wrote it on my phone, and that doesn't tell you how many pages it is. So I went onto my computer, and when I checked, it was like 12 pages, something like that. I was like, wow, that's really cool. I had no idea how long I was going, but I remember when I started writing it, it was actually leaving Milk the first night. Like, we left. It was before our reshoots. You guys mentioned, you're like, oh, it was to me and Jay, actually. You mentioned, you're like, if you have any short films, any ideas and stuff, just let us know. I was like, okay, yeah, because I've been wanting to do that, but I'd never written a short film. So on that ride home, I was just like, started writing it.
Yeah.
But when I got home, like, I couldn't seem to progress. A week later, I hadn't done anything. I just erased everything, and I just started rewriting, and that was just so smooth. I got so much out, and the dialogue, I don't really know if it was good or not, but it felt good. It felt realistic, and I was like, okay, so far this is working out really well, and I really like how it turned out for the most part.
Yeah, I kind of got that. So with Beware of Doug, I wrote out like the first 13 pages really quickly, and then I highlighted everything and deleted it because I was like, this isn't working. And the way it was going, it was like there's a whole different like plot thing going on that like just didn't make sense. So we kind of talked about it more. Like, okay, well, what if instead of, because the original idea, I don't want to get too much into it because like, there's a lot, and
Spoilers.
and there's
Spoilers, yeah.
it's like kind of a twisty sort of like there's things in there that are just
Okay.
hidden. But the original idea was that it's these two drug addicts, Doug and Gina, boyfriend girlfriend, and they go to this homeless camp, and then they meet this basically homeless camp leader who like guides them to sobriety. And that was the first idea. And they're like, okay, well, what if we make it better and they go to a rehab facility, and then the owner of that is the same character as who the homeless guy is or was. So we just take the name, dragged it over, and that worked out. And that's what the first draft of the script is. But like Owen was saying, that's just too many locations. It's like there's like hallway, lobby. Like we might have to do different buildings for that, and we might need like having a different exterior shot for that. So we just kind of scrapped that as well. And now what we have now, don't want to get too much into it, but we have I think a much better location and storyline going.
Okay.
But I think it's going to probably extend the movie by quite a bit, but I don't know yet. I don't know yet. This the first few scenes that I've like I've fixed, or I guess made into the current one. It feels a bit longer. Like the first two scenes I did, it's like maybe almost double the length.
Oh wow.
So I don't know if that's going to be consistent throughout, like with every scene I do, but
Did you increase the length of the first scene?
The first scene's unchanged.
Okay, yeah, because the first scene has been the exact same thing since the very first
Since
draft.
the very first draft. First scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is
Exact
opened
same.
the same way every single time, which is kind
Yeah,
of
and
I like that scene. I think that scene's cool.
it's a cool scene. I think it also sets the tone very well because it's supposed to be like it's a drama, but there's
Right.
elements of comedy that we're trying to introduce. Because I think dramas work better when there's flecks of little tiny bits of comedy in there.
Right. Yeah.
Especially
it-
longer ones. Yeah.
Yeah, because it kind of if it's completely dark the whole time, then the audience expects a very dark ending, and this film has a very it's just a very nightmarish ending, and it's like the most horrible possible way it can go.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna have a dark, people will just be like expecting that. So we're kind
Right.
of if you have comedy to subset that, and just kind of be there, it'll make it even more tragic
Little
and
glimpse
more
of hope.
devastating. Yeah, like glimmers of hope.
Yeah.
just throughout.
And then just rip their heart out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Because that's actually kind of the way it goes. It's like, okay, you believe that this is gonna go a certain way, and then it's not like a total plot twist when that gets gets subverted, but it's supposed to be like, oh shoot, like that was not how it was being set up to go.
Right.
But it feels natural. It doesn't feel like, oh, they just totally like did a 180 because they wanted to have a cool plot twist ending.
Right.
It should feel natural, but the idea is that we could just have comedy in there to make the dark parts feel even darker than they already are.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's awesome.
It's I don't know. It's very I don't know. I'm personally like not too affected by like the problems of the story, but for some reason I feel like I have a strong connection with like just writing it, and I wrote it really fast, or relatively fast, I guess, and it's the longest script I've ever written, and I guess it will be even longer with the
That's
new version.
awesome.
So that was a lot of rambling.
Yeah.
Super cool.
What is bro yapping about?
What is bro yapping about?
Yeah. Let's talk about milk for a couple other things. I just want to talk about, is there anything that you guys wish that you guys had done differently in milk? Because I know we have a couple things, but, and I mean, I guess is that even a question for them?
I would have actually punched him.
That would have been nice.
That would've
Practicals, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, because I think with milk, definitely, the one regret I have is not more explicitly stating what the milk was. Because I know that a lot of people who watched it thought that was just water. Because they have to keep them alive, so they have to give them water, and they just give it give them in a milk jug, because fucking whatever.
My mom thought it was poison. Like, oh, they're poisoning him.
Yeah.
I'm like, kinda,
Yeah, more or less.
but not directly like that.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That was like the one big thing I thought I wish we did differently. As well as like fleshing out the childhood scenes and maybe incorporating the childhood scenes a little bit better into the actual story. But I think a better question would be because we have a couple we did, but what is the biggest lesson that you guys both learned from shooting Milk?
Wow. Well, I don't know. I noticed one of the biggest things that I struggled with, or one of the bigger obstacles, is not practicing the lines enough. There was multiple times where I was like, shoot, and I pulled out the paper. I'm like reading everything, and I messed up lines because I messed up when reading it or something, and I didn't go back to double check it. And I'm like, read it once. All right. What was that again? And I didn't remember it. I'm just like, oh, gosh, pull it back out. I'm like, okay, practice the lines a little bit more. And I think bring a jacket next time. It was,
Yeah. Yeah.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
I had to be shirtless for all that.
And in shorts.
And
too.
I was like dying some of those days. It was so
Yeah.
cold. I was
Yeah.
like, dang.
Yeah, I want to talk about the last day too, because I'm pretty sure I told you guys, but the last day we were shooting it was on June 9th, and the next morning at 3:30 a.m. I had to be on a plane to Mexico.
oh, wow.
And actually no, I had to wake up at 3:30 to go to my parents because we were going to drive to the
And
airport.
that night we went late.
Yeah, that night. So we finished
Right.
wrapping the final scene
At
of the
midnight,
movie.
or at 1.
We were finished wrapping the final scene, like chronologically, the final scene at like what, midnight, I think.
I think it was
maybe like
midnight.
12:15 or something.
I think we left.
And
at
then
like
you
12:30 or
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
yeah, and then we had to do one more scene.
Yeah.
But I was just like, okay, we're I forget who it was, but with kind of the assumption was that okay, we'll pick it up and do it at some other point. But I think Elijah was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
And then
because it was
You were
like
in all your makeup anyway.
I was in all my makeup. I think that's
Yeah.
what it was. Is like we had already done like 3 shoot days and had to like do all the makeup and everything.
Right.
And so I'm gonna sound like an asshole for this one, but like we were like almost totally wrapped for the entire film. We were just like, oh, you needed one more shot, and I was in all the makeup, and I was like, I'd rather not like have to like
Do
come
it all
out
again.
and
no, yeah.
fully like makeup and everything
Yeah.
for one shot. And So
Right.
we took care of it that night.
Yeah.
So I think we were talking about it. I think this was what Jake said. He was because we were both tired too. Like
Yeah.
everyone on the set was.
We were all
But he was like, you know what? If the fucking guy who has been shirtless out here for like 2
Yeah.
hours with no shoes on says we should do the last scene, then stop being fucking pussies and go do the last scene.
I
It's
mean,
like,
we
a
were
bit-
like, we're tired, but like, you guys were like fighting each other and yelling and screaming and crying.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you know, we didn't really do shit. We just stood there and kind of said, do it this way, say it this way.
I mean,
do
it's
it
a lot
this
of
way."
work being behind and like actually
Yeah.
trying. You guys
Well,
like
when you're directing, you're doing the crew, and you're directing the crew as well as the actors.
because that's the
Right.
thing. When you guys stop
Yeah.
recording, like I'm not working.
We're still-
I'm
yeah,
not
that's
really
true.
working anymore.
Yeah.
You guys
Right.
still are. Like I'm just like you tell me where to be, tell me what to say, and I'll do it. And there's part of that yeah, like there's a little bit more energy in that
Yeah.
acting part of it. But I feel like there's just as much work or more being on the director or the like
yeah.
side
Yeah,
of
I mean,
things,
yeah,
too.
definitely.
you know. And I
But-
think that's
Yeah.
you asked me like what I learned from that. I think it's just how much actually goes into this because
Oh, yeah.
I've been interested in the film industry and like done some of my own projects, just small scale. But I think actually being on something like this that's bigger than anything I've ever done on my own. I think it was really cool just to see how much actually goes into putting together a film like this, a short film like this.
Mm.
You know, like all the like establishers, the
Yeah.
getting actors together, because I've never really done anything like that where it's like you get a bunch of different people together to play different roles and that sort of thing. Like I haven't done anything like that myself yet. So
Yeah.
I think it was cool. Like I learned a lot from that because I have a fascination with the what's going on behind the camera as well. So I think it was fun for me just to like watch it going on as an actor and as part of the film, but just also just intrigued in everything that you guys were doing.
Yeah. I also wanted to ask, are you because I think, have you been hanging out with Noah from,
Yeah.
I've seen you like together sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, Noah and Arthur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arthur like hit me up and he's like, dude, you should come to this like barbecue that we're having for it's like his
The lads at the cookout.
yeah,
just like,
the
okay.
cookout, and so that's what he was just like, bro, you gotta come to this like thing that we're having like on the Rainbow Bridge in Folsom.
Yeah.
And so he invited me to his barbecue, his cookout for it's
You're invited to the cookout.
it's his
Bloods in the cookout.
like it's his fraternity or something.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I forgot.
His fraternity group, and I was like, all right, that sounds chill. And
Yeah.
so I pulled up to that and just
That's so funny.
had grilled some steaks with him, and
Yeah.
It's funny too, because like Noah is more of like Owen's friend, and then you were like, I knew you before, you know, like you were my
Mhm.
friend, and then I introduced you to Owen, and then vice versa. So it's kind of weird that you guys hung out together like
yeah,
on separate occasion. I thought that was just
we
funny.
call networking, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you really want to go like the chain, it's
That's
like
cool.
you hung out with your friend's 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 friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's what it was. Like I knew Jake from school,
Mm.
and
Mm.
and then like we'd hung out and like I worked out with you once or twice, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's chill. Like, but then you guys reached out to me to do the film, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy, you know, like,
This fucking guy.
Jake, you want
Yeah. Exactly.
Weird
But-
loser.
Yeah. So that was cool, and that was kind of unexpected. But I was like, dude, yeah, we just kind of hit it off. Me and Arthur like
Yeah.
we're kind of vibing during the shoot. and
Yeah.
he
I
was
noticed
just
that. I was like, huh, it's interesting.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
it's actually like it's our 6 months anniversary. Like so,
Oh my God.
shout out to you.
Why don't you go kiss him then?
You
Give
can
him a big
Actually, it was really
smooch.
sad you guys didn't invite him to this because like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna pop the question soon?
I'm hoping that he does.
Oh, you're waiting for him. Oh, I see.
Are you a bit more submissive in this
Yeah,
relationship?
I usually like to take the backseat on the like these kinds of things.
You let him do his work.
Yeah,
and-
until I want to get controlling.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
like
Actually, you seem like a soft top.
what?
Yeah,
What's that? Wait, what is explain? What does that even mean?
I
Power,
agree.
soft top, power bottom.
Yeah.
Power bottom.
Generates the power. So yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. I'm top energy
Top
Okay.
energy.
for sure.
Big top
for sure,
energy?
for sure.
Hard
That's what
top.
a bottom would say.
Whatever, Jake.
Well, whatever.
Everybody
Yeah.
knows you're.
whoa. Finish that.
Never mind.
Finish that,
Never
finish
mind.
that.
No, I don't want to say it.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll
Say
talk about
it.
it off camera.
I think the biggest thing I learned was
Bitch.
definitely pull up to the gym, bitch.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I'll bench
Oh.
you.
I
if
can
needed.
actually bench more than you.
I can bench more than you. I'll do like 315 right now.
Okay. Let's can we bring the bench in here?
Drag it in.
Up in the podcast, bring
As you
the
were
whole
saying,
setup.
what have you learned?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing easily was, at least technically, how to shoot in low light.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because like the FX, we used the
Oh, yeah.
FX3 for it, and the FX3 is like a beast of a low light camera.
Do you even have to learn how to shoot in low light if you're using an FX3?
Yes. Yes. I had to like. Okay. It was
It's right there.
actually. It's that one.
It's actually really dark in here.
yeah.
We don't have any lights set up.
Yeah.
It's just
Nah.
FX3s.
It's-
And, like,
yeah, exactly.
that's how
Full frame.
you just like you don't need lights anymore if you have an
Literally.
FX3. That's like how
Um,
it works.
No, because like I actually had to save a lot of it through the color grading. Because I actually didn't know how. Because what I did is, because I still had the mentality, I still kind of do, but obviously not as much, of like shoot for what looks good, right? And then obviously when you're actually using like a camera that has 10-bit log, you shoot so that as much is as exposed as possible, and then you
Yeah.
actually make the image look good in the color grading.
Make it
Yeah.
look dark
Because
out.
what you see in Milk is how it looked when we shot it, like on the day. Like it was exposed to this pretty much basically the same like level as what you see. Which is like
Yeah.
if we wanted to raise anything, you would get like a lot of grain in the shadows and stuff. So there was we like didn't really think about that too much when we did it, but like now we know like
How would you expose differently?
I would expose
Retrospect.
way up, like
yeah.
if anything, like just blast the campfire lights on them, because I think the lights at the campfire were at like 50% or something.
Okay.
I think the grading though on the campfire scene is like the strongest.
I agree, yeah,
it's
definitely.
like definitely the best
'Cause we actually
looking-
used
best
lights.
looking part of the film, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Actually, I like the K3 actually and K1 because there was actually a lot of natural light too. I mean, that was
Yeah.
pretty good. But like all of the nighttime scenes, I would just expose for more, because I don't know if I can bring it up. I actually did this because we had to reshoot one shot, which was the shot with the blood and the car pulling up to it.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I forget what was wrong with that, but we had to reshoot it. And we shot that at like 7:30 p.m. or 8 p.m. So it was like pretty light out, but I was able to like make it look like night with color grade and like a day to night color grade. But for all the night ones, I kind of just shot it as night for night instead of just leaving it at 12,800 ISO and widen and opening it up as much as I could, because I was like, oh no, that's too bright, it doesn't look like night anymore or whatever. I didn't realize that I could save that by like crushing the shadows in post and like actually making it look good. I still kind of, if I were to do that right now, I would really be hesitant, because I'd be like, oh, I don't know if I'd be able to save this. I kind of have to get more practice shooting at night so that I can like have the confidence and know that it's gonna
Yeah.
actually look like night after I grade it in post.
Yeah, I feel like once that detail's gone, though, it's gone. So like, it's always best just to have that information there.
Yeah.
Because you can always do everything. You can pretty much make anything look like anything.
Yeah, but I think that's just what I don't have enough experience with, just like the color grading aspect. Like I don't know that I can make anything look like anything yet.
Yeah.
So I just have to shoot more and just like practice color grading, just to, like know that for sure.
And Trask, I gotta say, for the milk thing, your final like kind of monologue outburst kind of thing, like that actually really took me by surprise. Like I knew you could do it, but like
They actually didn't know I could act. They,
Yeah.
they had no
Plucked the
hope.
guy off the
no,
street.
we just kind of like, I was like, okay, this kid's not gonna be able to do it. But no, like that was like really like when you started doing that, because we actually, you weren't supposed to go when you first did it. Because we were filming Monroe,
Right.
and you did it while we were filming Monroe. So we were like, oh, okay, that's cool. But we're just gonna
Oh,
keep
yeah,
rolling
yeah.
then, because he's gonna do it.
I forgot. Like I put everything into it, and then you guys were like, "That wasn't even the shot of you."
Yeah,
And
that
I
was
like,
Yeah.
That wasn't, but that was fine. But like that was that like kind of took me. So that took me by surprise, like literally, because it like you just did it out of nowhere. But also like that was like exactly what I imagined. Like when you say stop, it like your voice cracks and it's like it cuts through the scene, like and everything else stops and it works very well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because like for that final monologue, for the final
I got
cut,
chills, like literally.
Oh, dude, I appreciate that. I had fun with that scene because like I didn't have any like other lines. Like I think it was fun, like some of the facial expressions and having to act like just. I think I also learned there just like, okay, how do I get into character and really start to like do these scenes without any dialogue?
Yeah.
You know, for some of those scenes, I just had to like sit there and you're like, look this way, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Right.
you know. But
Yeah.
I think that part was fun, just to actually like really start to get into that character
Yeah.
more towards the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fuck. God damn, I was gonna say. Oh yeah. For the final, because I was the one who. I mean, obviously Jake had some of it, but I was like the main editor for Milk. And for like the final monologue there, we had maybe like 3 takes of it. And it was kind of weird because we shot the first take we had was the one where we were filming Monroe. So like we didn't actually have any footage of you, and so I kind of had to almost cobble together the monologue in post-production, like in the editing, because I think the first take was easily the strongest you did.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the second was like pretty good, but obviously a little weaker. And then the third one was like not terrible, but it's like ideally not.
It absolutely sucked.
Oh, thanks,
We
I
didn't.
no, I
even
agree.
use
Like the
third take.
first one was really good, and then I feel like I was trying to get back to that, and
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it would have been better to just start from a clean slate, but like I think I was like, you guys were like, that was so good, and I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta repeat
Yeah.
that now. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I think for something like that, it's just like you have one really strong take, which like the first one, like when you're like in the character, like in the moment and stuff, and then it's like
Then
that
I
was
was-
amazing. Can you repeat that? Wait,
Then I was
what?
overthinking it after that. I was
Yeah.
like trying to like get myself to get back to that, but
Yeah.
like, yeah.
But it worked. I mean.
Yeah, it definitely worked.
Yeah, I mean, also like it's a really powerful scene in general, just because like from what we see Leo as like this overarching like really like violent person, who like will stop at nothing to like kind of hurt you.
Yeah.
And for the first time, he like stopped, like you interrupt him like while he's talking.
Yeah.
You say stop, and he actually stops, and that's how powerful it was. You got someone like Leo to, which
Yeah.
I think is it's just a cool scene.
Because I think that's like, okay, when you guys first approached me on this film, you were like, kind of told me a little bit about it, but I was like, what the heck am I going to be doing? And like, I did not even know. You got me to say yes before I realized like what I was actually getting myself into. And when I showed up first day on set, I was like, oh man, like there's a lot
There's
more
a
to
lot
it.
going on.
There's a lot
Yeah.
more to this character.
That was
than
kind of on purpose, because I was like, if I explain it too much, you
I
might not.
think
be
I probably would
interested.
have chickened out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have been like.
So it was a bit of lying and deceit. to
So
get
yeah,
you there.
you lured me. in.
That's how you get actors.
Yeah.
But what I
Like,
what I
oh
was-
yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It'll take like one day.
yeah.
We said it was like 2 days of shooting, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That was it. Like you guys were like, yeah, it's only gonna be like a couple of days, and then like I
And
have
you have
to
like
show-
no dialogue.
And
so-
then I like how many times did we show up and I had to like it was hours of makeup and I didn't realize like what is going into this.
Yeah.
A little bit of deceit and fraud.
I thought it was just gonna be like this like quick like almost one and done, and it was a lot
Yeah.
more than that. But what I kind of meant by that was, I think as you started to explain the character to me, like how you described it to me, you're like you wanted this very dynamic kind of this very dynamic story of like
Yeah.
yes, I'm the villain kind of, or like
Right.
and you were trying to paint like his character Leo is very like almost justified in what he's doing, but you're
Mhm.
also trying to say like, is he going too far? Is he what's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
is he taking it too far then in his vengeance and his like and all
Yeah.
that? And so I kind of took that and I was like, okay, how do I start to get people kind of in some way on my side? I mean, I don't think my character is a good person. I don't think
No.
what I did was awesome, but I was like, how do I kind of paint that picture that you guys communicated to me, like
Yeah.
the vision of we want it to almost feel like Leo's going too far, and or you start to question that by the end, like is what he's doing actually justified for
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
actions that were taken, And so I was like, I gotta put my like blood, sweat, and tears into how do I
Yeah.
get people to start to feel what I'm feeling, even as a horrible character, like horrible person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's also kind of the reason why we wanted to also like adapt this and make this a feature, because I think the questions that we're asking and like the depth that these characters go to, it's just like not like overly ambitious, but like I don't think a short can do it justice.
Yeah, it's a really complex complex set of characters that are like shown in like a less than 8-minute movie.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Like, I don't even think like all the complexity of it that we imagined it came across. Just like it couldn't.
So
Yeah.
here's kind of a question for you guys. How, like, in this feature-length film, in your idea of it now, would you develop these characters differently, or like earlier after? Like, would you add stuff afterward, or just kind of general?
Developing it differently, no. In the sense of like we would. I'm not going to speak for Jake, but like my idea of it is like they would be developed the same, but they would be given more development of the same thing, because of 8 minutes, we didn't have the time to actually develop characters, and I think that's one of the pitfalls that a lot of short films come into. Is like a lot of short. I mean, I think this isn't as much as like a lot of the other ones I've seen, but a lot of the short films that I've seen are trying to be features but a short length, as opposed to like an actual literal short film. And I think for the feature, at least my idea, it may be completely different if when it ends up happening, but it would just take the exact same characters, the same development that we have in our heads, and just expand it to like
So
an
you
hour and a
like
half.
throw it into ChatGPT, say like make it longer.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
then, like, make it an hour.
just play Milk back to back for like 16 times, so it's like
Okay.
an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think it's like the same character traits, same backstory, same everything, but all of it will come through in the feature instead of only some of it coming through in the short.
At least for like major developmental changes, I think the character that'll have like the most difference would be the man. We've named him Scott so far. Like he's gonna be named for this. We kind of want to give
Nice.
him more
I actually
humanity.
get a name now.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations.
You've ascended to personhood.
We wanted to. Well, we're not gonna cast you as, but
Well, like,
we wanted
hey.
to have. We wanted like more humanity for the character because I think a really cool contrast is you're like not even like you're barely human in Milk. Like you're like almost like an animal. Like you're grunting. You're like and you're like your face is all like bruised and it's like your hair's
Yeah.
all like
You don't hear me say a word until like the last
yeah.
minute or two
And
of the movie.
that is a really cool contrast to like a regular everyday person. So like we kind of wanted that to be a big thing too, is like how far Leo's torture and like everything has gotten to him, and changes him from basically being a human to like practically a beast, you know.
Wow.
And I think that's a cool part of the story as well. But the main conflict for the feature would be the conflict between, at least as far as it goes right now, it might change, might be different, but we want to really explore Leo and Paul having their differences on basically like the camp. Like there'll be a campfire scene, but we'll kind of I guess expand upon that, like why Paul's against it.
Against campfires.
Against campfires, yeah.
Campfires.
Paul against campfires.
Don't you know what state we're in? This is causing massive forest fire.
Dude, that's another whole film you could just like make right there.
I know, just over
Smokey the Bear.
over nothing. But yeah, we wanted the man Scott would be kind of more of a lesser focus. Like he'll be the main thing that drives all of the stuff in the film, but I think Paul and Leo's conflict is more compelling.
Would you show a little bit more of like our prior relationship to
Yeah,
some of
there,
that happening?
not too much. Like maybe there's like an idea for like a scene earlier that I don't want to say too much, but there's like a kind of like there's like a maybe like a day before.
Because we were like
Sort of
we
thing.
were friends before this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that'll be shown, but like
Okay.
not too in focus or anything like that.
Yeah. Also, I think a big change that it's going to be, at least what we have now, and we can talk about this for a minute too, is I think where we think the feature is going to be linear, because obviously the short it was completely non-linear, because we wanted to give a little jerk off to Nolan there, the king.
The king, bro.
But yeah, I think it works I think non-linearness works better for the short. And like I mean, at least in my idea, I'm not gonna like.
Because there was a lot more going on in 8 minutes, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. A lot of it is like I could be like, oh, it could represent the deep feelings of the man as his brain is fucked, so he doesn't really know anything. I just thought it's cool, honestly.
That I think that right there is
Yeah.
super important, just from like a film perspective and from an artist perspective. It's like we can always try to figure out like what's the most like most meaningful or most like the best way to do it. You know, like the
Yeah.
most I don't know fitting way. But at the end of the day, it's like you're the director. You're the director. Like, do you like it?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know. I just like I think match cuts are cool.
Yeah.
Match cutting to a previous scene, and also it was something we did play around with is like the grades are completely different. So like the grade for the chicken coop scene, so when he's beating you and when you're drinking the milk, that's like significantly bluer.
Yeah.
Compared to the final scene, the street scene, which is all like a neutral palette. Yeah, so I don't know.
Why was it so blue?
That was
Creative choice?
because that was a
Yeah.
creative choice. Yeah, I did like mess up on a little bit of the color grade because it was like weird, but
There's basically like a shot of Monroe and then a shot of Jay, and Jay is like blue, and then there's a shot of Monroe and there's a shot of Jay again, and Jay's
like
now
purple.
kind of like purplish greenish kind of.
yeah,
That's like the only thing that like in that film though. Like there's everything else.
Pretty
Like you probably won't
consistent.
even notice it if you just watched it for the first time.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't notice it.
But
Yeah.
if you watch it
Didn't
now,
notice.
if during that scene, just pay attention to the background on Jay's scene. You'll be like, that looks a bit different than it did.
Mhm.
A
I'm
second
gonna
ago.
go pixel peep it now.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. I don't know. I think blue because obviously blue is like a cooler. If you look into like you can read into color theory if you want. Like blue's typically seen as more hostile and orange is seen as more like warm, loving. Because that's actually something we did really because when we graded the childhood scenes, which were originally in there, those were
Super warm.
super warm, like a dream, like a fucked memory. And we wanted to contrast it with the chicken coop, like in like literal, like the guys in literal hell, and so it's just like a super warm, dreamy, like really soft scene, and then immediately cut to like a really cool blue scene.
Yeah,
Is
because
that
both are memories.
Is that another thing you'd probably keep a little bit more of in the feature? Is like childhood scenes? Or you still cut those?
I think we're axing them.
I don't think they'll make it in.
Yeah, the current plan's to axe them, just because it's not super necessary to where. It's not super necessary when we have like an hour and a half to flesh out characters.
It was because the childhood scenes was because we realized that we don't have a lot of time to represent like to show that your character is like just like everyone else.
Okay.
So having a childhood scene would be like, okay, this person's also human. This is what they looked like. Like this is what they were doing before.
Yeah.
They're like this. In a feature length film, like we're gonna have a lot of like there'll be you'll see him before. He is
Beastified.
beastified.
Yeah.
Let's say. Yes.
And so were those scenes added a little bit after the fact once we started filming? Those like childhood scenes? Did you?
we filmed. Those are the first things we filmed.
Okay.
So that was in the scripts too. And I
Okay.
think Monroe asked me about that. Like, what is this?
Yeah, what's this
Yeah.
Yeah,
going
I remember
on?
seeing it in some of the early like test edits that you guys sent us,
Yeah.
like or different stuff. And you sent me pictures or whatever like from you guys filming.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is cool. These are interesting. And
Yeah.
giving me a little more context of what you guys were doing. But then you completely axed it, and I was like, oh, where'd those go?
Yeah. We can also show you because we still have like an edit
Yeah.
of it on YouTube. If you just wanted to see those
Get
clips.
the director's cut.
Yeah.
Director's cut.
The director's cut. Cinematic 4K 60 FPS remaster.
God. Yeah. Have you guys seen I mean, obviously way off topic, but have you guys seen Killers of the Flower Moon yet?
No, I'm not.
No.
No, yeah. I'm
No,
curious.
It looks good. It looks so good.
Yeah.
Actually.
We both saw it same day but different times.
Yeah, we saw it
Yeah.
on opening night, which
Recommend?
was I guess last night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it's a
really
good
good.
movie.
Scorsese.
Scorsese. Yeah. I don't know.
Scorsese.
I think it was another thing where like I didn't think it needed to be 3.5 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like it could have been cut down a little bit more.
I think even like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really hard. Scorsese loves showing like really long like lifetime stories. Like this is not so much for this current movie that came out, but he loves like showing like 15 years in one movie, and I think it is justified. Like okay, it could be a 3-hour movie. I think even like just 15, 20 minutes less, and the movie could have felt a bit more fast-paced. It doesn't need to be like an hour less. Like it probably could, but there's just the story is really large scope, and I think you do need that extra length. Because there were some scenes I definitely did feel like they kind of just slogged along, but some other scenes felt pretty quick and like boom, 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 boom. So
Yeah, because it took place over what, like 6 or 7 years?
probably a decade, honestly, like maybe close to a decade.
6 or 7
Just a lot
years.
of time to cover in a film.
Because 3 hours is compared to 10 years or however long is really short, you know.
Right.
So it's hard to like cover all that in one film. So I think it's kind of justified how long it is, but it's just there's a couple scenes where maybe it's not so necessary.
Yeah, I think it was good though. I would recommend. Definitely go watch it as a matinee though, because I watched it at 7:30. Like my showing started at 7:30. We didn't get out till 11.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, it was like fine. Like I would never almost fall asleep a couple times. Just I don't think it didn't have anything to do with like the movie being boring or whatever it is. It was literally just sitting down in a chair for 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
It's just like
which like even
at like 10 o'clock.
dude, I loved Oppenheimer, but like
Yeah.
our theater had like the AC was broken, and we were like, it was so hot, and we double featured it, watched Barbie first, and then like went and got dinner, and then we came back to watch Oppenheimer. We did the thing. We did the trendy thing. We actually watched Barbenheimer. And dude, it was so hot in there. But I was like glued, dude. I think because I was so tired, it was like super late too. I like fell asleep for like a little bit of like the last part, which I was so sad because it was like, what did I miss? I was like,
did you watch it in IMAX?
No, we watched it.
L.
I know. Okay, that's what I wanted to go back and watch it in IMAX, but I never. Like,
you missed your chance.
Went out and got it.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Maybe at some point it'll come back.
Hopefully they'll like replay it. Nolan,
Maybe.
if you're listening, like
Nolan.
He's not. He doesn't have.
He's
a phone.
not.
God. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched it 3 times. Oppenheimer.
Dang.
I think definitely my second time was the best.
You watching in IMAX that time?
I watched all 3 in IMAX.
Of course. Because you guys are closer to IMAX theaters.
Yeah.
We don't have one in Roseville.
There's one in Sac.
Yeah.
So
Well, the only one that shows it in IMAX 70mm is in Sacramento.
yeah.
There's like 2 in California.
Shout out
Or
Esquire
3.
IMAX.
There's like 2 in LA that are like within a mile of each other, and there's one in Sacramento
Classic.
randomly.
Yeah.
That is able to show it at that
Yeah.
huge format.
Yeah, I think it's like
Saw it in Cinemark XD. So.
Ooh. I think it's like one out of. I think there's only 23 theaters in the U.S. that can show it both in IMAX and 70mm.
We saw it technically in 4D because it was like we could feel the heat of the bomb.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone died. God,
Because
the
it was
jump
like so
scare.
hot in the theater, and the bomb was going off.
I don't know. We could talk about Oppenheimer for a bit if you guys want to. Mono, have you seen it?
I have. I did the Barbenheimer too.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody I told were like, no, you got to watch Oppenheimer first, then Barbie. Because Oppenheimer's going to be depressing and sad, and Barbie's going to be very cheery and joyful. And I'm just like, no, I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I want to end with Oppenheimer. Because Barbie, to me, I was like, okay, this is going to be kind of like a fun movie.
Yeah.
To some people, it was really heartfelt, very emotional. I got that, but I'm like, this is just overall like a good time, really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oppenheimer, I'm going for the experience of a deep story, film, quality, all this insane. I'm going for a Nolan film.
Save the best for last.
Exactly. Like I liked Barbie, but Oppenheimer, I was like, that's why it had to be last. And same for me, it was late. It was really late. And I was exhausted. My sister was there as well. She was like actually like falling asleep a couple times, and we kept like waking her up. She was just like,
Fuck up.
Your younger sister?
actually older sister.
Your older sister.
Yeah, my younger sister was there too, though.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Eli, as a fellow editor, what were your thoughts on Oppenheimer's editing?
I loved it.
You loved it?
Yeah,
Just
it was really good.
I don't know. Yeah, the non like linear, of course, like, but also just all the little pieces. I think even from a like cinematography aspect, the fact that he does everything in camera, and he did all those like kind of shots showing simultaneously like the anatomy of like what's going on, and like kind of visualizing how the like atomic bombs work and everything, but also just showing what's going on in Dr. Oppenheimer's brain, like, and how is he processing this entire like the the gravity of what he's doing. You know, the
Yeah.
gravity of like, yeah, he's just the guy building the bomb. He's not responsible in a sense of he's not the one dropping it, but like he's like, I'm building this weapon that's going to be used for God knows what, you know,
Mhm.
like. So I think that was really cool to watch. That the editing was amazing, but also just the like practical visualizations that they
worrying
cut
in
in.
his head.
Yeah, the worry in his
Yeah.
head and all the like weird like wiry looking like particle effect stuff that they filmed like in
Practically,
camera and
yeah.
practically, like they
That
didn't
was
just
so
animate that
cool.
stuff. Like
It's very
I think that's
clever.
why what I love about his filmmaking is he does things like he just goes the extra mile that like nobody else is really doing. Not many other like filmmakers are going out of their way to just film this in a way that nobody else would. Like it's
Right.
just, oh yeah, we can animate that in a couple
Mhm.
hours, and he's like, no, let's do it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen some fucking. Oh god, I fucking hate Reddit.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of like. I mean, more so when it came out, obviously, but like a bunch of threads in like the cinematography subreddit that was like, does anybody else hate how they edited it? All these fast cuts are appealing to zoomers with zero attention span, and it's like, I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
No,
so
yeah, I
dumb.
think it was good because like there were also slow parts of it, but it felt chaotic. Like
Yeah.
what was going on in his
Yeah.
brain was like you're just like thrown from place to place, and you're like trying to figure out. Like I'll have to watch it a few more
Yeah.
times to really get what was
Mhm.
going on, but it was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't get on the first time that I didn't even really get this on the second time. That I had to see the third time for it to make sense was like the whole Pash, like side story
Right.
where like he had a meeting with the guy, or I think Pash, and somebody bugged it. I think.
Oh.
That wasn't like the most clear on the first viewing for me, or even like the second. It's like what exactly happened, because like the shots, like the setup shots where you see the guy go into the room and like put something under the lamp or whatever it was, last like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah,
Casey Affleck's character?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to
Yeah.
double check.
There were that's the other thing. There were so
many
many like
actors.
A-list
So
actors.
many.
Yeah. Like
Felt like a
just
Marvel movie.
the Avengers
It was
of like amazing actors.
It
in
was
that movie.
insane.
You're just like halfway or like 2/3 of the way into the movie. You're like another one. Like they just
Yeah.
they hit
It's
this
easier
guy.
it's easier to refer to the characters by the actor's name.
Seriously.
It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, Matt Damon did this. It's like, well, no, that's not his name, but you know,
Right.
it's easier to remember.
yeah. I think people are just fucking lining up to try to work with Nolan at this
Seriously.
point.
I mean, if I were in the industry like that, and I were one of these like big guys, I'd be like, dude, anything you want me on, like
Yeah.
anything Nolan calls me up for, just say yes.
I'm in it.
Like
Yes.
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
say yes.
Yeah, I think also like I think this was the first time Downey Jr.'s played anything other than Iron Man in like a decade, right?
Yeah, he's done like 2 projects maybe since the end.
Yeah, was
since
Tropic Thunder
Endgame.
before that? Or
That was
Yeah.
before, yeah.
okay, yeah.
That was
Was it
far
during?
before.
Probably his best film. So,
Which one?
Tropic Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I've heard of it though.
Yeah, he
Very
did.
good.
I think he did like 2 films before this one, but this was his first like big one that he actually did since Endgame, which I think it was one of his only good ones since then. Cause like he did Dr. Dolittle, which did not do very
Oh,
well.
yeah.
And I don't know if he did anything else. That may have actually been it. Then
Yeah.
This
And then
one.
Oppenheimer.
Dr. Dolittle.
What an interesting like filmography to have. Like you do all these Iron Man things, and you do like fucking Dr. Dolittle, and then you do Oppenheimer. It's interesting.
What do they have to pay him to be on that?
I
bro?
know.
I don't know.
That's very, very interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, Oppenheimer was epic. It was
was
very.
really good.
I think also the editing kind of represents like the chaos of like the fission reaction, chain reaction that's one after the other.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
also the thought process that you would have a chain reaction that wouldn't stop and it would ignite everything and destroy
Right.
everything, which I thought was kind of cool. I didn't know about that. Like I didn't know that was an actual like worry that they
Right.
had when they're making the bomb. Like, oh, we might kill everyone on accident, so
Yeah.
we might
Yeah.
that might happen.
Mhm.
But I thought that was really cool from like a writing standpoint. That actually is like what happened. Like you make a nuclear
Right.
bomb. Now we have thermonuclear weapons that can destroy countries. So we kind of did have a chain reaction in terms of
Right.
production,
Yeah.
which was like the whole big thing at the end, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you guys like Barbie?
Yeah, on a more serious topic, how about
Let's get serious for a second, guys.
The real films right now.
yeah.
Barbie was good. I liked it. Thought it was hilarious, very funny. Even some of the more deeper things, I was like, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it kind of ended not as well.
Ended kind of unresolved for me.
Mm.
And like not really a good way. I felt like they wanted to have resolve.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
To me, like how I got the main message across was what they were showing was that in the in the real world, women are being like oppressed or don't have the same opportunities as the men. Whereas I also saw in the Barbie world that was the same thing with the Kens.
Yeah.
Kens were being stepped on or just weren't as didn't have the opportunities as the Barbies did. So I was thinking with how it was going to end with the whole Ken revolution type thing going about and them trying to resolve it, I was thinking that they were going to go more of like the, okay, Barbie goes to the real world, sees this thing being like, oh my gosh, this is wrong. And coming back to Barbie land would be like, we are treating the Kens in a bad way. Let's find a way to be better. Mm-hmm. And that's why when in the end, when she goes back to the real world, that was her goal to do the same thing. But then they didn't go that way. And I was like, oh, that's the kind of did not wrap it up for me in a good way.
That's kind of how I felt. Was like, I was like, I kind of had hope for it. And I was thinking like, oh, they're going to show like the dichotomy and the difference between a patriarchal world and a matriarchal world. And how both are not really working for both parties. Right. And they were going to have some sort of resolution in the end that's like, oh, like,
let's make it true equal.
Let's make it like truly equal and actually find a way to compromise and complement each other. And it was kind of like the resolve ended up being, yeah, let's go back to the way things were, but just leave each other alone. Like, and I was like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
maybe that's kind of more reflective of like a more realistic ending because that's kind of how it still is today. Like we kind of say like, oh yeah, women have so much more rights than they did like 100 years ago, but it's still like not necessarily fully there.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of accurate to how it is in, I guess, Barbie Land. And it's like it kind of ends in the same way as like maybe they're slightly better than they were before the events of the movie, but like still not quite there.
Right.
With the Kens at least, you know, and their rights. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I definitely, obviously, none of us are really a target demo.
Yeah, I think that's what I got out of it too. Is like I was like, maybe I didn't fully like enjoy this movie the way they intended, but I also wasn't the intended audience.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
Like, I think, and that's okay. I watched it a couple times, and I was like, you know, kind of was like, yeah, they clearly targeted this movie to a female audience, and like kudos to them. I think there probably does need to be more movies like that are well developed, and I think a lot of it was truly well done cinema.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I think it was pretty like definition of blockbustery.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there were definitely some pretty deep themes in there. But it was just kind of like I think more than anything, it was let's all go to the movies this weekend and have fun. What should we watch? Oh, Barbie. Okay, sure. Why not?
Right.
And that kind of shows because it made like 1.5 billion or some ridiculous number.
It was insane.
And like obviously Oppenheimer. I mean, obviously Oppenheimer was a very good movie, but I think it only got the commercial success it did because of Nolan's name.
Yeah.
If literally any other director made it.
And ironically, because of Barbie trying to overshadow Oppenheimer's release, they made it more popular to go see both movies.
Yeah.
It was like, a whole thing.
Started marketing it.
Yeah.
Which, fun fact, apparently The Dark Knight and Mamma Mia also had the same situation being released on the same day.
Yeah.
And that was not a big deal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a lot of respect for Gerwig as a director, though, because I remember, because I think her and Nolan actually have a lot in common in the sense that I read something the other day where some like fucking, I don't know, what was it, did Paramount do that one? Paramount do Barbie?
I don't know. Yeah.
or
I think so.
whoever did Barbie, one of the network one of the executives was like pushing to cut the I'm Just Ken final dance scene at the end. They're like, what is this?
One of the
Like,
best parts
whatever
of
the
movie,
fuck.
like, come on.
Yeah, but Gerwig was like, no, I want to see this shit, and if I want to see it, then I know other people will want to see it as well. And it's like, I think both her and Nolan are people who definitely stand for what they want to put in the movie, and they don't bow down to some executives. Obviously, them being as big as they are gives them that power, because I think it's the same thing with Taylor Swift. Kind of funnily enough, it's like if she wants to work with a record label, for example, because she's Taylor Swift, they'll give her every single thing she demands because she's Taylor Swift. And it's the same with Oppenheimer. He's like, give me $100 million marketing budget. Give me $100 million budget, $100 million marketing. They're like, okay, Nolan, here, take it, Nolan.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Earning that respect in the industry is
Yeah.
Right.
But there's a bit of a difference though, because it's like that was Gerwig's Greta Gerwig's third movie that she did was Barbie.
Yeah.
So I mean, to have your third movie break $1 billion at the box office is really crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
it's nuts. I mean,
Which is that's actually just really insane.
Yeah, I don't know. I think all the fucking. Did you guys see about the new Mattel cinematic universe?
Yes. They're
are
gonna
they
be.
actually gonna?
I don't
Do
know.
something like
I
that?
know it's been in talks.
I know they would want to now
It
that they know that there's
looks-
money there. Yeah.
It looks real. I don't know anything confirmed, but they have I saw that
Hot
they actually
Wheels.
have
That's-
that.
that would be another.
If I'm not
MCU.
mistaken, I'm pretty. That was one of the things that they actually had a director for.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, I heard that one.
J.J. Abrams taking a dark turn for
Damn.
Hot Wheels.
I was gonna say Michael Bay would be a good choice.
Oh, Michael Bay.
Hot Wheels movie.
Fuck
Which
everything up.
I'm pretty sure they also doing the Magic 8 Ball, more of a horror film.
Oh yeah.
Which
talk,
I'm like,
talk to my 8-ball.
They're gonna they're gonna make a Magic 8-Ball film.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see that. I don't see that.
I think they had 32 projects.
It's
Yeah,
just
now in the
it's
world.
just
Yeah,
an
yeah.
8-ball. How do you?
Yeah, but it's cool.
How do you make a movie out?
Yeah,
of it?
and it's going to be a
talk to me is
horror
just
film.
a hand.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, I think fucking network executives are just fucking stupid. I don't know. I hear it. I don't think you should.
What's bro on about? The network exec.
What's
bro.
what's blood talking about?
What are these?
No, it's
what are these
fine.
execs on about, bro?
Fuck them. I don't know. 'Cause I don't think you
Toy
should
movies.
be able to make those fucking calls unless you actually made a movie. Obviously, there's some idiot talking here in a chair, but I don't know.
Yeah, we're established directors, so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
we've
We've released one 8-minute short film. Fuck
Yeah.
you guys.
bed play.
I love bed play.
I don't think they know about MVR.
Oh, they don't.
Yeah, so we made
What's
a
MVR?
Man vs. Road. We made this. It hasn't been released yet.
Oh
Because
no, I've heard about this though, and I've seen
Oh.
some shots. I think
How did we tell you?
you told me about it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you guys think you're really secretive, actually.
Is this the
But-
highway one?
Yes.
Yeah. So we made that with Hugo.
I thought you were in that one.
No, they had asked me if I had my license to be in that
Oh.
one,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
I said
'cause
no.
It's driving the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, okay. What's funny because we shot it with Hugo, who's from South Africa, and he is obviously doesn't have an American license. So the person didn't even have a license anyway. So,
But for legal reasons, they definitely
They
did.
definitely did.
but yeah, exactly. He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we submitted it to two film festivals, and we just got word from one of them that it got accepted.
Oh
And
wow.
it's going to be screened on January 21st
Dang.
in
Oh my
the Bay Area
What?
in Concord or something like that.
So is that your
Yeah.
Yeah.
proudest film right there?
Well, no, but
I still think Milk is better.
I personally like Milk. Just I don't know. It's more dramatic and serious, and a lot more went into it. But
Right.
Man vs. Road still we're very proud of it because it was very spontaneous. We had these basically these gym warm up rubber bands strapped to the in the car the little handles on the side.
Oh yeah.
We had them tied through, so it was a little band support right here, and we had one of these tube lights on top in the car so it could shine in one direction, and we gaff taped it so it would be pointing towards the driver.
Yeah.
That was I have a photo of it too.
Yeah.
That was the
Dang.
Yeah, this is definitely our most actual challenging film yet because pretty much the entirety of it was shot on I-80 in moving traffic.
yeah.
It's like basically two characters. We'll show it to you guys after we finish
Yeah,
the
it's
podcast.
like-
But you guys don't get to watch.
Yeah.
Until January 21st, baby.
Yeah, once
Yeah,
we
because
upload
the festival we got in is called Bash.
it. Yeah.
Where's that?
Bay
Bay
Area and
Sacramento.
Sacramento Short Film Festival.
And it's
Yeah.
it's held in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in I don't know somewhere in the Bay Area. But they only accept like shorts, and they only accept shorts, and they only accept them if they're made in the Bay Area or Sacramento area.
Okay.
And so yeah, we submitted it. We just waited a while. We got in, and they don't allow films that have been publicly released yet. So that we couldn't we couldn't send in Milk because that, and we like didn't find any. I don't think we even thought about doing Milk for a film festival.
I mean, we kind of talked about it, but we never like actually submitted it anywhere.
Yeah, we were kind of just like fuck it, release it publicly.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's like through 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
Yeah.
A lot of it's. I don't know. It's there's just I don't know. It's very unique. I think, and I think that's kind of we kind of think that's like why it got in, because I've never seen another film quite like it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those films because like I know in the mindset of people like actually looking at the applicants of the festivals, they watch so many fucking films,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are like not like bad, but like forgettable almost. And you guys will see when you watch this. This one is not very forgettable.
Not at all.
And if you want to do a circuit run, I think you need more than just like a cool shot with some good actors or whatever. You need like an actual like. You almost need to think about it in a YouTube way. When you're making films for festivals,
Like making a YouTube thumbnail of like.
like with like a red arrow, and like you have to have the Mr. Beast text at the bottom when you intro the videos. You're just gonna have to do like the first 30 seconds has to be really engaging.
It's not gonna be the director's favorite film, but it's gonna be like the one that gets you kind of.
Yeah, because I mean it might be the next favorite film, but I'm saying like if like the people who watch them watch like 200 short films, and I've like read that people sometimes watch the first 30 seconds. If it doesn't look promising, they're like, "Fuck this, fuck that,
Fuck that.
Yeah.
and
I want him to
yeah,
stop.
Bro.
and so
What's
if,
bro on about?
if they watch if they watch a short film with like 30 seconds worth of establishing shots of an inside of a house, they're like, okay, what the fuck am I watching? But this one like immediately opens with a man on a freeway, and then he kind of like gets into the action pretty quickly. And so that's kind of something you have to think about if you want to look into festivals.
All right. One thing. You guys good? Because I it's 6:00 right now. I don't know if you guys have anything to
I
do. If you want to keep going for a little bit longer.
We can go for an hour 37.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys are good to keep going or.
I'm chilling.
I'm
All right,
chilling.
I gotta leave probably. I gotta leave before 7, but.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna use the bathroom real quick. So, up to you, Owen, to handle this.
Handle these hooligans. Yeah, if you guys need to go to the bathroom, it's like right there too.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't see this.
So now that Jake's gone. Like.
Wait. What a weird guy, eh?
I know, dude. Like honestly, the whole time we're on the film, like the set of Milk, I was like, bro, what an asshole this guy is. Like,
But I don't know. I saw him touching Jay a few times, like touching his like ass.
no, that was probably Sean. You were saying.
Sean was probably doing that.
Sean, I don't know if there's anybody's ass that he didn't touch on that set.
Not
I
mine.
Think, like,
Probably my girlfriend.
there was a
Isabel.
lot of sexual harassment on that set.
I think he sexually harassed everyone but the girls.
Yeah.
He didn't. Me.
He didn't. Oh, you're a lucky
Well,
man.
he didn't know him.
He didn't know me.
I
So
don't- he barely knew me.
Yeah, it's true. But I think by association that you were friends with Jake, that he was just like,
What a weird guy.
And you
I'll-
could just
I'll-
tell,
I'll
like-
touch him.
did he touched you?
Probably.
Hmm.
Fuck, he's back. Goddamn.
so
Uh,
Jake's a weird guy.
Jake's a pretty weird guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
We were just talking about how
What's
many people Sean touched on set, like emotionally.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
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 Yeah. Elijah, what have you been up to? Trask. What have you been up to recently, and in terms of like editing and like content stuff like that?
So what I do for work is I am building a personal branding company for real estate people. So I've been doing a lot of short form, like 60-second content. So like if you all the like best reels that you see on Instagram, those are probably mine.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Anything that's like really
lo-
like well edited.
Yeah, I
you're
saw
"Damn,
I
that
saw
was
this really gay one the other day, so it must have been you, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I saw one where like a guy was benching and then someone came up and like behind him and like came on him. That was probably
Oh,
you,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it must have been.
No, I'm pretty sure that was Jake Bell. That guy
What?
makes some weird stuff. Killer with a shadow.
Cots.
I don't know about that. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I do not
That was
recall.
me.
I think there was a lot of like smoking weed involved too.
I don't recall that.
Tripping balls for sure.
Triple
Uh,
balls.
So yeah, what I've been doing, a lot of short form, and kind of building the business side of that as well, because I'm sort of like the creative director role in the organization that we're building, and so we've got a few more clients now, and we're really growing it at the moment. And so right now I was just telling him in the car, like I'm hiring out some of that editing, like we're put out application to like some virtual assistants to help me start to like edit more short form content at scale, because it's become a lot more than I can do on my own, which is good. I think it's helping me learn like not to try to do everything myself, and helping me kind of step back, and do things less, try to not try as hard to like do things solo or do things like all in my own strength, but like actually relying on other people's strengths and what they're good at, and finding people. Some of these applicants I think are in some ways, even in short form and all that, like I think they more talented in ways than I am. And I'm like, it's humbling, but it's also really exciting to be able to start working with other people that are just thinking the same way, and their creative genius can start to complement what I want to do as well. And we can collaborate in that way.
Yeah, the people the people you're working with, are they free use?
No, actually, I wish, dude. So like,
Yeah.
that's the thing is like, you guys kind of told me coming on to the movie, you're like, you have to be free use. Like,
Yeah.
we get to use you as much as we
As
want.
as much as we want.
For
Whatever
money.
reason.
Well, I didn't sign off for whatever reason. There was no like contract. That was part of the free use contract. Is there was no contract. There was no contract. But definitely the people that we're hiring, we're paying them, or
Yeah.
they're expecting that. We'll see how long I can get them to work for me without paying it. But no, we definitely are gonna pay, because you get what you pay for. Other than me. I don't work for free. I work for free out of donation because my work is like so good that I don't think anybody could pay for it.
Yeah, you're free use to us.
I'm free use to you guys only because I know you could not afford what I would charge you.
Damn,
You know.
Right.
that's cold.
Right.
Yeah.
So you charge us nothing
Yeah, exactly.
because you're submissive.
It's like
Power bottom.
power bottom.
it's
yeah,
honestly
exactly.
it's like a ministry for me, you know.
Yeah, what made you decide on like specifically real estate personal branding? Like, do you ever worry that that's like too small of a niche to try to profit off of?
Do I worry about it? Not really.
Sigma male.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, no, because like
So,
how
like-
many like how many like realtors are out there looking for
Yeah.
like an agency?
That's the kind of thing I didn't actually get into it because I was thinking like, dude, real estate people need content. I wasn't thinking that. It was actually, it's funny because I out of high school, I graduated and I was like I put like a film project out for my senior year and I was having fun with that, and I was just like, dude, I want to find any sort of job I can start, video editing for somebody or filming in-house for a company. So I was thinking more corporate a little bit more, and like actually I was probably going to start applying to different like places that had a established marketing kind of branch of their company or whatever. But it was kind of out of chance, and also just like I think the grace of God and prayer. Like I was like, I want a job right out of high school so I can start learning, because I don't want to go to college.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I'm a good student in that way. And I just want to start working in the industry. Guy, one of the parents at the school, my boss now and partner in Fat Unicorn Media is what we call it. He saw my senior video that I put out and was like, dude, I need somebody to do my social media, and I have this vision. I want to start like building like this branding marketing company, and I want you to be the creative director for this project. And I was like, dude, sounds legit. I want a paycheck, and I want to learn a lot more, and I know I have a lot to learn. And so we met at his office, super close to the school that I went to, and I was like, so when can I start, And we just kind of really jumped in. He started explaining this vision that he had for this company that he wanted to build, and I was just like wide-eyed 18-year-old, like, bro, like, I made it.
Yeah.
And I think it started to mature over that time and figuring out what that was. I mean, we were establishing what that company was going to look like, what he needed. So for the first year, I was just working for him and making content for him and learning kind of getting my chops and what I was doing, trying to figure out what worked, what didn't work. And we were both figuring it out. And he started making content before I started with him, but I just started to like help, like, how do we make it better? He was like, I have these ideas, but I want you to execute because I don't know how to video edit. And I was like, cool, that looks cool. I'll try that. And so now it's a lot more kind of developed into what it is now. Like, and it was more his vision of like realizing he was trying to hire all these like VAs, virtual assistants, and or contractors and all this stuff. And to get his need met was, I want to build a personal brand around my real estate and actually start to get leads from this. And he knew that it was something that he really believed in, that worked for him, but he just needed somebody to kind of take the reins of it. And he knew that a lot of other people in that industry, agents, investors, other like real estate people, really needed that as well, because he talked to a bunch of people. He networked with all these people that are like, I need the same thing, or they're already paying other people to do the same thing. They're doing a shit job. And so he's like, I want to figure out how do we meet that need, bridge the gap between these real estate people and the creatives. That me going into it, I was like, I know how to make a cool video, but I didn't actually know anything about marketing because I didn't know what people actually wanted or needed and how to sell the product, which was the videos that I know how to make. I was just like, I love the creative process, and I was kind of naive and like, I think if I just make a cool video for somebody, it's going to help them sell whatever they're trying to do, or that's going to help them somehow. And I just wasn't connecting the dots of like, how do I actually help the client or the customer figure out what they actually need and start to kind of work from the end in mind backwards to like, how do I deliver exactly what you need and make sure this is a valuable product for you?
Yeah.
So that's a long way of saying it, but that's kind of how I got into it.
Yeah, kind of like what you said, like that a second ago, like kind of finding out the client's needs.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if it's a debate, but it's like a question that I've like seen recently is a videographer / cinematographer an artist or a service provider? Which is like such an interesting thing. And I think that obviously there is elements of art involved. And my definition real quick: videographer, someone who captures images, captures moving images. Cinematographer, someone who creates moving images. So someone who films events, videographer, someone who lights stuff for ads, cinematographer.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously a million things in the middle, but whatever. And I think a lot of people who are in that space can't take the ego hit of being called a service provider, because they all want to be artists and I want to execute my vision and shit like that. But I think if you're a videographer and trying to make money with your camera, something you need to kind of take the frame in mind of, you need to solve your client's problem. What is their problem? Use your tools, which is your camera and your editing software, to solve the problem for them. And then obviously if you are like, it's raining.
Hella raining.
Out of nowhere. Obviously if you are getting to the high enough level, like being a DP on feature films, you can like have more say in like your art and stuff like that. But at least if you are trying to make a living with your camera doing non-film stuff, like non-narrative films, you need to find out what the client's needs are and deliver that as best as you can.
I think that's huge, and it helped me kind of bridge the gap. Like, there was this kind of a point, quite a few points over the last year, just my own personal development in that industry. Also realizing like I don't always love every part of this, and I've even kind of put a video out on my page about it, like having purpose over passion. But like realizing like, some of these edits or some of these projects that I'm working on, I'm like, I don't even like doing this, but at the end of the day, I had to start shifting my mind on it. Like, why did I get into this, or why did I get into anything? Because film was just something I was interested in high school, and I was like, I think I want to do this for work. But what I really excelled at, and what I really feel like I was passionate about, was like, I just want to help people. And if I can figure out how to use whatever skills or tools that I have to end up helping people, that at the end of the day is going to be a win for me. If I am self-absorbed in whatever my art is and I'm not helping anyone with it, then I think I'm going to end up in a worse spot than actually doing some things that I'm like, I maybe don't like doing today, but as long as I know I'm helping other people, I'm solving a need for them. And
Yeah. How long have you been interested in film and video and editing and whatever?
I guess like I get what my parents would probably say is like since I was like a wee little child.
Since you were a wee lad.
I didn't realize it, but I was like
A wee
making
young
all
boy.
these videos like and like just all the time. I mean, like I saw that you guys kind of had similar.
Yeah, I remember using like my mom's iPad mini and just taking photos of like little toys and moving them, and then taking photos and moving them.
Yeah, my first
Anyone else
film.
do Lego stop motion?
Lego.
Seriously, yeah. My first movie was a Lego stop motion, or it was like, no, it wasn't even stop motion. It was just videoed Legos, and I was just like, it was a feature film called the Patriots. No, like direct. It was completely original, actually. Like,
oh really?
Yeah.
That's
not
wild.
ripped off of anything, but I'd never even seen The Matrix. I was like 7 or something. And
You're
I was
just like, this is what it probably looks like.
this is probably because I think that's what I wasn't allowed to watch it. I was like,
yeah.
this is what my version of it would be, and it was awesome. It was honestly better than the original movie, but
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
But really,
Should
when I
maybe.
started getting into it, it's probably like 8th grade. I saw this guy on YouTube, Peter McKinnon, and
Yeah.
and he was like showing all this stuff about his like photography, and I was like, dude, I want to do that. That looks awesome. So I had my iPod Touch, Generation 5,
I
and
had an iPod Touch too.
I took some of the best
Yeah.
photos known to man. Honestly, I think
Uh-huh.
like crispy like pictures of trees in my backyard, and color graded super awful.
Yeah.
But from there I was like, dude, I want to do this. Like, I want to
Yeah.
like figure out how to start taking photos, and then it turned into more video. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
started doing more with video, and I realized I kind of liked that more. And so all throughout high school, I was just throwing myself in whatever I could, like video, photo, all of it, and
Yeah.
started to direct some projects at school. And I was like, this is kind of fun.
God, you're bringing up Peter McKinnon. Just like, I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
have a Peter McKinnon story as well.
Oh, really? Tell me.
Well, yeah, we did a little film challenge for him.
Oh, we're talking about that?
Yeah.
I was just going to bring up how I fucking hate, like, film and videography YouTube. Like, how I just despise
Oh, well, he's
it.
like the ultimate one. Like,
yeah. I mean, he
like
isn't... He
most cinematic lens to
Yeah.
make. Yeah.
It's not even, like, him
It's not his fault,
specifically.
though. It's not his fault. Like,
Yeah.
it's not none of their faults. That's how you get views.
Yeah.
It's how you
Yeah.
get.
You just have to do it. You have to sell your soul that way. But it's fun.
Yeah. But I hate... I don't know. Anyways.
Reconcile.
Yeah, so this was one of our more recent films, released in 2020. It was part of a Peter McKinnon 72-hour film challenge. I think he did one of these like every year until
I saw those.
2021, maybe. I mean, he might still be doing them. I have no idea. But like, winner gets like some cash money. Winner gets like a cash prize, or like a new drone, or like some gift card to B&H or whatever it was. I don't know. But it was just, he announced it on Friday. You had to submit all the films by like Sunday evening or whatever it was. And I saw this. I'm like, yo, let's do this. So we made a film. This is back when I had a Sony a6400 with the kit lens and a gimbal. It was like I just got the camera like for a high school graduation present. I I don't know, what is there to say about it? It was like bad.
It's just interesting. I mean, it was like the first time we were like color grading something, I guess.
Yeah.
So like there's parts where it's like, this looks a little weird, and then it was also like, I don't know. There's like a nearly like a minute and 30 segment where it's just the character walking, and he picks up like a box at the end of it,
And then it fades out.
and then it fades out into the next. I act in it too,
Yeah.
and
Did you guys win the challenge?
no, I don't know. We weren't even close probably.
Yeah.
And we were really confident too. We were like, "There's no way we don't get it."
Yeah, because like I think that was right when I started my OC Films YouTube channel, which is like it's not a YouTube channel; it's like a portfolio basically. Like I uploaded Milk and stuff to it, but this is like the fourth upload after like just some like event videography from like a BLM rally and like a mountain biking film or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we got like 5 or 6 comments of other people who like I'm guessing entered the short film, the challenge. They were like, "Bravo, man! Amazing storytelling," and
The acting was so good.
yeah,
I'm like, really? Was it?
yeah. I don't know. It's like looking back on it, it's like they're probably trying to get good karma, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It was fun. Like we did it in a weekend. I remember because we obviously didn't literally script it out because we had 3 days to do it. But we just shot it on Saturday, and I edited it in like a McDonald's on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, like if I really need to focus on something, I can't like sit on my desk.
You go to McDonald's.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's
You go to
your-
McDonald's
that's
Exactly.
or like it's like a really gay spot, like
What?
McDonald's
Or
or
gay bar?
McDonald's, Burger King.
Definitely Burger King.
Yeah.
But you don't order anything. You just shit up and like.
I think I got like a McChicken,
Yeah.
a singular McChicken. But yeah, I don't know. It was fun. It was I kind of want to do another 7. I mean, I guess I'll Miss You as a 72-hour film challenge.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Hey.
Inadvertently. I mean,
Submit that.
It took a while to edit.
it took a while to edit, but yeah, like shooting and writing and stuff, and
Yeah.
everything took less than a day.
How
or
did
less
they
than a-
verify that you like do it in 72 hours? I couldn't remember.
I don't think they can.
Yeah.
'Cause, like-
there wasn't a prompt either.
Yeah,
It was- you
'cause a
could
lot of-
literally- we could have
That's
made
why.
it. We could have made it like a year ago, and they wouldn't know.
And you
know?
took like 5 years to make it. And
Yeah.
you were like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, last thing about Milk. The second biggest thing I learned probably was like sound design and how important it is.
yeah.
Because if you look at the time, because that was the first time I actually edited something on like Resolve, like an actual project.
He's a big boy now.
I love Resolve, dude.
Resolve.
It's so nice.
He switched.
I did the old switcheroo.
Yeah.
But like there are like 7 or 8 layers of audio only,
Yeah.
which is just like kind of insane. About like how
I hear
you
CapCut's kind of up and coming.
It's pretty good.
I hate.
I have it on my phone.
I think I deleted it.
Yeah. Apple Clips.
Apple Clip, but yeah, I don't know. Everything sounds fine. I also just like hate because I stopped watching like filmmaking YouTube like a month ago, and ever since I stopped watching it, I've kept my desire to make things, but I've lost all my desire to buy new gear.
Yep. I think that's
Yeah.
huge. I think that's what it was. Like I mostly had an obsession with gear, like because
Yeah.
of filmmaking YouTube, because I was watching that every day, all the time, and even like starting my job, I was like, dude, I want to get this stuff all the time, and I wasn't thinking about just like making more content.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the company was going and the vision was going, and it's helped me. I've steered quite a bit away from that and stopped watching that,
Yeah.
and I realized like I don't want to buy new gear all the time.
And you also
anymore.
just don't really need it.
I
Like
don't need it.
that's
Yeah.
like the thing too is like there's like these kids on TikTok that use their phones and they film videos and they get like millions of views and they use CapCut. Like it's easy to make fun of it, but it's like, it works. Whatever works, you know.
Yeah. Right.
And
Yeah.
they'll have more views than I'll ever have in my whole life probably.
Seriously.
And it's just I don't know, it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess a little bit of a different like example. Like they don't. They're kind of apples to oranges
Yeah.
comparing like short films to TikTok videos.
But
but it's also like
exposure
yeah,
and influence.
getting eyeballs on your content.
Yeah.
It's totally yeah.
And we're still in that sphere. We do GymMadeEasy, which is basically the same thing.
gonna talk about GME where it's going.
Do we have a direction for it?
I mean,
This
we're doing,
might go up on that channel.
I think it
Do
will.
you guys need to
actually.
replace the batteries on these cameras? They look like you're gonna die.
It'll be fine. We're probably not gonna go for too much longer. We're like 2 hours in.
Yeah. Yeah, we should wrap it up in like 5 minutes.
Get
or
the
so.
This is the director's cut.
Director's cut.
Of the,
No, we'll do more with stuff like Bugoff. Like, I don't know if I know Trask does, but I don't know. Do you follow GymMadeEasy on Instagram?
fake fan. Oh, dang.
Damn.
Fire.
I think it's a little too edgy,
Probably.
even for me.
What is that?
It's our like fitness satire page.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Showed
Okay.
you some of the videos.
Yeah,
I think
fire.
you showed me like one,
Did I?
maybe two.
This ones that I was in, because they were the best ones.
No, I never even
Probably.
saw any
Yeah.
that you were in.
The next
I
one.
don't think so.
Honestly, I love like every single video on the YouTube channel. Like
yeah,
I
the
love all
YouTube
the
channel.
YouTube videos that we made, like the mockumentaries and stuff.
Sometimes I'll watch the stuff on the Instagram and be like, ugh, really? Why do we make that? Like,
Yeah, but I love all the
didn't
YouTube
age,
ones.
The YouTube ones age well, and they are engaging.
Yeah, because like we really need to make more stuff. Because I have a video I'm editing for the YouTube channel, and we're gonna do some more stuff like for the YouTube channel. We're gonna do more public stuff. Because like I have a character that I made recently, Dr. Bugoff Swanvok. I'm basically just like a doctor, but I believe
Yeah.
in.
What do you mean by more
my
public?
camera died. Rip.
Yeah.
Your guys' camera died.
Yeah,
But yeah, so
we still have the wide.
yeah. But so I'm just like the dumbest doctor you could ever see, and I want to
Yeah.
do some more like public stuff there. But
Like Borat, kind of like interacting, like hitting camera
Oh, in the pub.
in public.
Yeah.
Like, hey, did you know this and this and this? And the people are like, what? But like there's the own set of challenges that comes with that filming and also acting wise, like
Yeah.
not breaking character while you're literally like,
saying the dumbest shit you can think
Yeah.
of.
yeah, pretty much.
Have you guys eaten your requisite amount of seed oils
Yeah,
today?
have you had seed oil? Like,
Definitely, I don't think I've eaten enough seed oils today.
At least 3 tablespoons.
Are we?
per
We're
meal.
getting in and out after this, right? It's like
No, it doesn't have seed oils.
doesn't.
Actually, I think it does. I
literally
don't know.
does.
Like, bro, that's the reason that I go. If it doesn't have seed oils, then I'm gonna stop.
That's the reason you're
Actually,
fat
that'd be
and
really
lazy.
funny if you like go to the cashier, because I'm sure they get this question like all the time, like, does this have seed oils in it? And then if
Fucking
they're
Paul Saladino.
another dead.
The wide one.
All right,
Ah.
well, should we just wrap it up here? I guess because like,
Yeah,
there's
sure.
nothing else.
Hey guys,
Gang, gang.
how's it going?
I mean, do we
So-
even need to wrap it?
all
Thank,
the
you
cameras.
thank you for listening. If you did,
All the cameras are dead.
Yeah, just mine was
it's built different.
yeah, mine's built different.
You'll
Alright.
just replace the battery.
It's true.
Yeah, should.
It's like
All
All
right.
right, real quick, I don't know if you guys care. We'll link their Instagrams below if you want to check theirs out.
Definitely
Oh,
check me
hi.
out,
Check out Fat Unicorn Media.
especially if you're.
actors one.
Yeah, the acting one.
Yeah.
The
Elijah the actor.
Elijah Monroe official.
Yes.
Elijah Monroe official. Yeah, we'll link those down. Thank you for tuning in, and yeah, like and subscribe.
And for less.
Follow, like and follow for less.
Exactly. Okay.